You're listening to The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM, Cedar Rapids.
We now leave our network programming to bring you the following special sports presentation.
Let the good times roll with the fun of Kernel Baseball in The Zone.
Bring your family, bring your friends. This is where the fun never ends. Everybody knows when you're at the game. The good times roll. Hey, Kernels, let the good times roll. Cedar Rapids Kernels, let the good times roll.
With the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show, here's the voice of the Kernels, John Rogers.
It's another gorgeous evening for baseball as the Kernels try to make it 5 of 6 on their 8-game homestand. We're coming off a thrilling 6-3 victory last night in the first game of a 4-game series with the San Diego Padre minor leaguers, the Fort Wayne Wizards. And before Game 2 of the series with Fort Wayne, a South Slope Communications Triple Play Show interview with Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim Farm Director Tony Reagans. Tony joins us next here in The Zone.
A triple play, a rarity on the diamond, but produced successfully every day at South Slope Communications in North Liberty. The South Slope Communications triple play consists of voice, video, and data communications for your home or business. Achieve your communications triple play with South Slope Communications. South Slope is committed to providing the latest communications technology to their members while continuing to give service second to none. South Slope can provide your home or business with just about everything that connects you to information. Digital wireless phones, long-distance plans, data home and business wiring, video conferencing, dial-up and high-speed internet service, fiber optic installation and termination, and coming soon to all local servicing areas, digital video TV service. South Slope also rents out a beautiful community center event room in their magnificent new building in North Liberty. When you need anything in the communications field, select South Slope Communications. Visit them at southslope.com.
A real honor and pleasure it is to welcome the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim Farm Director Tony Reagans to the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show. And Tony, if I'm right, this is your second visit to Cedar Rapids, and I know our listeners would love knowing that as the top guy, the guy that runs the farm system with lots of great help, what do you try to do on a visit? Do you come in with an agenda of a checklist, or do you come in with a completely open mind with no real agenda?
I come in with an agenda for the most part, with a plan, observing the talent on the field, seeing if there's guys that need to move to a different level, to just make adjustments and just seeing how guys are feeling. And evaluating the coaching staff and seeing how they're doing, and it's just a bunch of different things in a short period of time.
Yes, it is, and I imagine that a lot of your time is not spent not only here, but at our other 4 or 5 affiliates around the country. You do get to all of them 2 or 3 times, don't you?
I do, and like you said, it's a bunch of travel, seeing all the affiliates, and then seeing the short season clubs that get underway in the latter part of June, and going to see them a couple of times, and then going to the Dominican Republic as well. And it just it's a lot of baseball, but it's fun. I'm away from my family a little bit, but it's fun being around the ballpark.
Do you have friends, Tony, like I have, that not in a bad negative connotation, but that are kind of envious or jealous that you have a job that is, granted, a lot of hard work and pressure, but they say to me, I'd give anything to be in baseball. Do you have friends like that?
I have friends. They're mostly supportive. They enjoy that I'm involved in the game and around Major League Baseball. They see the glamour side of it, but they really don't see the behind the scenes, the work that it takes to keep the organization, the minor league department, for example, moving in the right direction and on a consistent basis.
Tony, you mentioned that one of the things you like to do is see, and the new thought in some organizations, certainly not the Angels, is that you don't have to see that much, that you just go by numbers and a clearinghouse approach to information sharing. There is something to be said for seeing, one, because nothing can beat the visual approach to seeing, to learning about somebody than seeing them. And the other thing is the human aspect of it. and I wanted you to comment on that.
There's a place for statistics, and that's important, but being able to get a pulse of how players are playing, how the coaching staff is interacting with the players, how the players are interacting with each other, and the heart of players. That's something that you can't measure by statistics, and it's something that goes a long way in our organization as far as how guys, their makeup and how they get after it on a day-to-day basis. You can't measure that by numbers.
No, you certainly can't. Tony, you mentioned also the coaching staff, and I think that's probably the most underappreciated aspect of not only your job, but the guys that I say serve in minor league baseball. Are there thousands or hundreds of resumes that are sent to you from guys that have either played professionally, have come up in the college ranks, and maybe had a cup of coffee in professional baseball? Are you inundated with eager people of all ages that want to get into professional baseball as a manager or coach or instructor?
There are a number of resumes that come up throughout the year. During the off season, you get a number of resumes, coaches, rovers, trainers, strength and conditioning. So there's a ton of resumes that come in, and you just try to evaluate those resumes, call people back. That's very important, and if there's some interest and there's an opportunity for them, you go after them and you see if they fit in the organization and what we try to do philosophy-wise, and then you make decisions from there.
Do you interview them in person or on the phone?
It depends on the situation. If a candidate is getting close and we think that he might be a guy that's a fit, then we definitely bring him in and talk to him face-to-face and then go from there.
Contrary to some people's thinking, you don't hire old fishing buddies of Bill Stoneman.
That's true. We try to find the best candidates for the job, and there's a lot of people that know each other in the game, but a lot of times they aren't a fit in our organization, and that's what's important. Someone that is willing to do what we try to do as an organization, and we believe in working hard. I have a saying that you may outwork me, but you won't. We're going to have to cut that.
you may outperform me or outwin me, but you'll never outwork me.
Exactly.
My dad taught me that.
Yeah, and it's true. I think that it's important that hard work pays off. And if you work hard, I think things will work in your favor. If you're not a guy that gives your best effort, then you'll weed yourself out. So I think that's important. I think the work ethic is extremely important, and that's what we try to find in our candidates.
Tony Regans is with us on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show. The Kernels are playing very well on this homestand. They're 4-1, and we'll have a final word with the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim Farm Director when we return here in the Zone.
Mom! Dad! I got in! Oh, that's wonderful, honey.
Oh, my little girl's going to my alma mater.
No, Dad. Harvard!
Harvard.
Dad?
Got unexpected tuition payments? Call your guarantee banker.
Dad, Bill just hit a home run right through the neighbor's window.
The Murphy's window?
No, the Wilsons.
Oh, the big window.
Need a loan? Talk to your guarantee banker for a loan that's right for your kind of life.
Dad, there was this red light thingy in your car that said to check the engine. So I did, and it was still there. But, then it started making these gross noises and stuff. And then some really cute guy who stopped to help me said that the engine was, frozen. Yeah, that's possible in the summer.
Need a car loan? Talk to your guarantee banker for a loan that's right for your kind of life.
Guarantee Bank.
For your kind of life.
Member FDIC.
Tony Regans, as we wrap our time up here on this beautiful Tuesday evening, one of the things any employee appreciates, and I'm sure young professional baseball players would be no exception, is they want to know where they stand in the organization. What do they need to do? Are they being given a fair chance? Do they know what they need to do to improve? How do you have time, or do you, to put your arm around a kid or face him for 5 minutes like we are and say, here's where you stand with the Angels?
Well, my office is an open door. All the players have my cell phone number. They can call me at any time. And if they want an evaluation of where they stand with the organization, I'm more than happy to tell them that. They may not like what they hear, but it's an honest evaluation, and it's what we feel where they are at this point in time. Our coaching staff and our rovers are very important. We have a player development plan for each player. They can go and review that plan, review videotape of where we think they are, where they need to improve, and interaction and communication is important because players want to know, and we have no problem with letting them know, and I think that's important because if they know where they stand, there's no surprises.
And they don't feel like they're being taken for granted or left out in the dark.
Absolutely, and I think that's important because I think, a lot of people in my position really don't interact with the players, and I try to do that and let them know that I'm approachable and that, there's no problem one way or the other, whether you like the information that I'm giving you or you don't like it. I'm not going to take it personally. My job is to get them to the major leagues, and that's the bottom line.
And Tony's done a great job. There are 8 former Kernels on the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim who lead the AL West heading to the All-Star break. Tony, we'll get together with you tomorrow evening for a second go-around. Thank you so much.
No problem, JR.
Tony Reagans, Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim Farm Director, with us on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show. 3-time Iowa Sportscaster of the Year Scott Unash will be joining broadcast assistant Julia Jansen and I this evening, and we'll have the starting lineups when we return here in the Zone.
I'll live for you, I'll feed your cats, I'll fold your undies at the laundromat, unless you want me to have them dry. I get paid for that. I'll work things out, if things get bad, I'll shave my soul back before I meet your dad. I'll wear a turtleneck too strategically high my tattoos if I can. I'm quitting the bed, cause I'm winning your hand. I'm giving you all my time, but this Dr. Pepper is mine, rich taste, forget it. This Dr. Pepper is mine, one taste and you get it. I'll shop with you, always be true, but I'll never share my Dr. Pepper with you. Sorry. This Dr. Pepper is mine, one taste and you get it. So rich. This Dr. Pepper is mine, so refreshing taste, drinking by the case. This Dr. Pepper is mine, delicious. Isn't even a word.
It's a lovely, sunny, 76-degree Tuesday evening as the Kernels, standing 4-1 on an 8-game homestand, take on the San Diego Padre minor leaguers, the Fort Wayne Wizards, in the second game of a 4-game series. We welcome you to Veterans Memorial Stadium. 3-time Iowa Sportscaster of the Year and the Zone Sports Director, Scott Unash, is alongside. It's great to have Scott with us, and we'll set the starting lineups for you. Game 2 of our 4-game set with Fort Wayne. Fort Wayne has qualified for the Midwest League playoffs by virtue of their second-half finish in the first-half Eastern Division standings, but they've really hit the skids in the second half. They're 2-10, and the Kernels knocked them off last night in the series opener, yesterday and last night, 6-3. Randy Reddy, a 13-year big league veteran, is at the helm for the second straight year with the Wizards. He guided them to a 72-68 record in his debut as a manager in the Padres system with Fort Wayne last year. Leading off, he played for the Rice Owl Division I baseball champions 2 years ago, left fielder Chris Colcourse for Fort Wayne. Batting second, he was 3 for 4 in his Wizard debut last night, Matt Thayer in right field. The designated hitter is Matt Lauderdale. He'll hit third for the visitors. Batting fourth, a tall, gangly catcher, Colt Morton, who has 10 home runs. He's the cleanup hitter, and he leads the Wizards with 45 RBIs. Sean Kazmar will bat fifth and play at second base for Fort Wayne. At first base is a slugger tied for second in the league in home runs from Australia, Lachlan Dale at first base, batting sixth. Hitting seventh, the first player taken in last year's draft, shortstop Matt Bush. Yordani Ramirez is in center field. He didn't play last night. Ramirez will hit eighth and be in center. And batting ninth at third base is Baudilio Figueroa for Fort Wayne. On the hill for the Wizards, making his 16th start of the year, is Joel Santo. Santo's a big right-hander, 6'3", 180, 21 years old, and he's from the Dominican Republic. Joel Santo is 1-2 and lost 5, a 5.04 ERA. He's given up an awful lot of home runs, 10 gopher balls in 80 and a third innings. He's given up 87 hits in 80 and a third, walked 27, Fan 52. He was a 4-3 loser last Thursday in Fort Wayne against Wisconsin. He went 7 innings, yielding 4 runs on 6 hits, struck out 7, walked 2. Joel Santo is on the hill, a 21-year-old right-hander, making his 16th start of the year for Fort Wayne. He's 2-5. Allen Motor Company would like to thank all of you who made the recent unprecedented offer at Allen Motor Company through GM such a rousing success out at the campus. The General Motors employee discount pricing for everyone was a real boon to Allen Motor Company, and they have you, the customers and patrons, to thank. Visit Allen Motor Company online for all the fabulous selection of new and used and pre-owned vehicles by logging on to allenmotor.com, ALLENMOTOR.com. With the Allen Motor Company Colonel starting lineup, here's our great friend and colleague, Scott Unash.
Thanks, John. The Kernels, coming off a victory last night, will go to the field this way tonight. And their batting order looks like this. It'll be Alexi Casilla, the shortstop. He will lead off, hitting .283. Nate Sutton will bat second. He'll be at second base. At third base, batting third, will be Freddy Sandoval. Michael Collins will be the catcher for the Kernels. He'll be the cleanup man and hit fourth. In left field, batting fifth for Cedar Rapids will be Drew Toussaint. Warner Madrigal will play right field, and he will bat sixth. Josh LeBlanc will be in center field. Josh will hit seventh. Jordan Renz will serve as the designated hitter tonight. Jordan will hit eighth. And Chris Walson will be at first base, and Big Chris will hit ninth. And on the mound for the Kernels, just completing his warm-up tosses, is Jesse Smith. 3-5 on the year with a 5.49 ERA, coming off a no decision in a game last Thursday that the Kernels won over the Peoria Chiefs by a final score of 7-6. So it's Casilla, Sutton, Sandoval, Collins, Toussaint, Madrigal, LeBlanc, Renz, and Chris Walson for the Kernels.
Well, Scott, thank you so much. Anderson & Brown Eye Care, the official eye care provider of the Kernels, brings us our umpiring duo. Jeff Lascola will be behind the plate, and Jeff's partner on the base paths, Joe Dobo. Anderson & Brown Eye Care has moved to their new location. They're on Boyson Road, just west of I-380, next to Intent City. They are now a full-service eyewear provider. That's right. In addition to going to Anderson & Brown Eye Care for contact lenses, they now have a full selection of glasses to choose from as well. Anderson & Brown Eye Care, proud to present our umpiring duo, Jeff Lascola behind the plate, and on the diamond, Joe Dobo. The members of the Cost Cutters Dream Team have taken the field, and boy, do they look excited as they trot out to the 9 different positions on the diamond. The Kernels, having worn their RFK Transportation patriotic jerseys last night, are back in their red knit batting practice tops this evening with big white numbers, white pants, and red socks. The visiting Wizards are in gray road uniforms with blue sleeves, blue socks, blue caps, and gray bills. The Kernels hit the diamond, and they do so with a 7-5 record in sole possession of second place, just 2 games back of the Swing of the Quad Cities in the second half standings. And boy, does that sound good and sweet to announce that the Kernels are in second place all along in the Western Division second half. A word from Wendy's, and then Dale Brote will introduce our national anthem singer, Allison Hasselbrink.
Here to rock. Wendy's is pleased to present the national anthem. And now, ladies and gentlemen, to honor America, please join us in the singing of our national anthem. It's being performed this evening by Allison Hasselbrink.
Oh, say, can you see heart of our early life? What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, who brought bright and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the
As always, Allison Hasselbrink singing like a songbird the Star-Spangled Banner. Jake Lentz is our in-studio engineer. It's a gorgeous Tuesday night at the ballpark as the Kernels try to make it 5 out of 6 on the 8-game homestand. The Zone Sports Director Scott Unash is alongside, and we'll have this evening's first pitch when we return here in the Zone.
A triple play, a rarity on the diamond, but produced successfully every day at South Slope Communications in North Liberty. The South Slope Communications triple play consists of voice, video, and data communications for your home or business. Achieve your communications triple play with South Slope Communications. South Slope is committed to providing the latest communications technology to their members while continuing to give service second to none. South Slope can provide your home or business with just about everything that connects you to information. Digital wireless phones, long-distance plans, data home and business wiring, video conferencing, dial-up and high-speed internet service, fiber optic installation and termination, and coming soon to all local servicing areas, digital video TV service. South Slope also rents out a beautiful community center event room in their magnificent new building in North Liberty. When you need anything in the communications field, select South Slope Communications. Visit them at southslope.com.
Well, it's great to have you back, Scott, and I know you've been busy this summer, but how was your family this weekend for the 4th of July? What did you do?
Well, we enjoyed the fireworks last night. Got a little spot over by Cedar Lake and watched the fireworks, enjoyed that, had a little cookout. So, good time.
They can never estimate exactly how many people take in the fireworks, the Freedom Festival fireworks, but we estimated that 85% of the 3,500 from last night stayed, Scott, and it was a great phenomenon to see unfold.
Yeah, and you got a great view right here. Absolutely wonderful view. We've watched it here before, so I tried to do something a little different this year, and panned out lovely.
Well, that's great to hear. Bob Brooks will be back with us tomorrow evening. Bob will also be lending his great knowledge of this game in Cedar Rapids to Mike Moz, the play-by-play voice of the Fort Wayne Wizards. We'll be welcoming Dr. Michael Lomax to the broadcast booth. He's a professor, a Ph.D. in sports studies at the University of Iowa, so that'll be a fun treat as well. Well, we're ready for baseball. Jesse Smith, as Scott told you, is making his 14th start of the year. He's won 3 and lost 5. And the first man up for Fort Wayne is their leadoff hitter, Chris Colcourse, and a strike called on the outside corner. Jesse Smith gets ahead of the .284 hitting Colcourse, left-handed batter, who was 2 for 4 in the series opener last night. A fastball is low and inside, and Colcourse scored in Fort Wayne's 2-run third inning. No homers, 16 RBIs. He's out of Rice University. Narrow stance, left-handed batter, and he pulls the 1-1 pitch hard on the ground into right field for a leadoff single. Chris Colcourse greets Jesse Smith with a solid base knock into right, and that's how the ball game starts this evening.
Well, we so often talk, John, about teams building around their ballpark. The Cardinals did it for many years with speed, and speed. Hardly any power. Now you're seeing the Padres start to go that way because Petco Park is one of the toughest, if not the toughest, parks to hit home runs out of. And Colcourse is a good example. Speed, 16 RBIs, 17 stolen bases.
He's not running. That's a great point, Scott. His ball one is outside to Matt Thayer. Thayer had his season debut with the Wizards last night, and he made an immediate impact. He was 3 for 4. He drove in 2 of the Wizard 3 runs. Thayer's a right-handed batter out of UCLA, and he's not a big guy, 5'10", straightaway stance. Colcourse is not running, and the 1-0 pitch is looped foul over the screen for strike 1. You know what I was sad to see, Scott, after the first year of Comerica Park? Remember the Tigers signed Juan Gonzalez. He complained about the dimensions, and doggone it, Detroit gave in to Gonzalez, and they moved the fences in.
Yeah, and then Juan left.
Yeah.
So, there was talk about it in San Diego, but I believe they are going to keep it the way it is, and that's the way it should be, because not every park should yield 5 home runs a night. It's just,
I think it's silly. Well, Citizens Bank Ballpark's a prime example where the Phillies play. That ball flies out of there. The dimensions are very, very hitter-friendly.
Yeah, and you see that more and more, but what's the saying? Girls like so that dig the long ball.
Unbelievable. Well, thank goodness the game is being played gradually now without the use of steroids. A throw to first. Colt Morton returns safely. A long look by Jesse Smith, and Matt Thayer calls time. Thayer was a 31st round pick of the Padres last year out of UCLA. Played 46 games with the Eugene Emeralds in his rookie year of pro ball. Batted .284, 3 homers, 25 driven in. And he chops it foul off the railing of the Colonel first base dugout down into the right field bullpen.
So just joined the team last night. Did he come up or go down?
He had been at, I believe, I can't answer that. I'm not sure about that.
All right.
But he did play in one game for the Wizards last year, and last night was his first game with Fort Wayne.
I found Tony. Down below.
Tony Regans, our guest on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show. Long look by Smith. He throws to first, and the Colonels thought they had Chris Colcourt. Chris Walston giving the evil eye to Joe Dobo, the base umpire. And I don't know how Colcourt got back. I really don't.
That was very, very close. Obviously, he went to the outside of the bag and just eluded the tag because the throw beat him.
Tough challenge for the hitters at this hour. The shadows of the grandstand roof are right over home plate. Jesse Smith's bread and butter pitch and Uncle Charlie, and it's low for ball 2. 2-2. This would be the count you would think that Colcourt would be going on, and perhaps a hit and run count.
A lot of things could happen here. Plus, the sun is brutal right now.
Oh. In right field, Madrigal playing near the line and shallow. He has the worst of it. So does Chris Walston, who's holding the runner at first.
It's no picnic for Nate Sutton at second base either.
It sure is not. Jesse Smith standing in the middle of that bright sunshine. Comes set and throws to first high, the runner back.
Shadows covering home plate right now, just ahead of the home plate area, and the pitcher and the rest of the field in bright sunshine.
A shot into right. Madrigal on the run has it. He'll throw to first, and the runner is safe, and a wild throw gets by 2 of the Colonels and rolls towards the Fort Wayne dugout, goes into the Fort Wayne dugout, and on to third goes the runner. What a terrible, terrible decision by Warner Madrigal to throw to first. There's 1 out, a runner at third. Warner missed Chris Walston, and I'll be darned, Scott. Collins and Smith were both backing up the play like they should have been, but Madrigal's throw got away from both of them and wound up rolling into the Fort Wayne dugout. A 2-base throwing error by Warner Madrigal.
Yeah, and it wasn't the greatest throw in the world, I'll say that, but to get it by 2 guys after that should not happen. Jesse Smith just didn't take a real good angle back there.
And a shot to short, a base hit, 1-0 Fort Wayne. Matt Lauderdale ripped it through the box, a diving effort at short by Casilla to no avail, and Fort Wayne on a single, a 2-base error, and a RBI single drilled through the middle by Matt Lauderdale lead it here in the first inning, 1-0. Matt Lauderdale, a .289 hitter, now has 20 RBIs on the year. He smoked it to the left of the diving Alexi Casilla for an RBI single.
And I like this guy coming up, Colt Morton. He's going to make some major league team someday.
As Bob said last night, he has bird legs. He's still filling out. Jesse Smith paints the outside corner with a fastball for strike 1.
I don't think I'd want to run into him at home plate, though.
No, Colt is 6'5", 230. He's from Florida and went to North Carolina State. High draft pick of the Padres 2 seasons ago. He went in the 3rd round. Open stance, and a curve is drilled into left. Toussaint dives and has it. Drew Toussaint leaning out, and he made a backhanded stab of a pitch whistled into left field by Colt Morton. Drew Toussaint took a run away, or at least he took a double away from Colt Morton. I'm not sure if Matt Lauderdale would have scored. That's how hard Colt Morton sucked that pitch by Jesse Smith, and unfortunately, everything so far here in the first inning has been hit hard, and harder off Jesse, but quite a play in left by Drew Toussaint.
That was a great play. I didn't think he was going to get there, but the ball hung up.
First pitch swinging and sending it foul into the rafters of the first base grandstand roof is Sean Kazmar. Yes, it was a tremendous catch. Racing quickly to his right and reaching out fully extended, Drew Toussaint took a hit and probably a run away from Fort Wayne. Sean Kazmar.
No, heads up there, Shucks.
Wow, Mr. Shucks got conked right in the baseball head of his, standing behind the screen. The ball put a couple of inches of indentation into the screen, and it struck Mr. Shucks right in the coconut. But he's all right.
I think Shucks should have just went down for, to play it up.
Well, he played it up a little bit. A check swing on a curve in the dirt, and strike 3 swinging. Sean Kazmar strikes out on a Jesse Smith curve in the dirt, and that does it for the Wizards, who strike for 1 run on 2 base hits, 1 Kernel error in the first half inning. It was an unearned run scored by the Wizards, and Fort Wayne leaves a runner aboard. A terrific catch in left by Drew Toussaint kept Fort Wayne from making it a bigger first half inning. And on this beautiful Tuesday evening here at Veterans Memorial Stadium, Fort Wayne, after 1 half inning on top, 1-0, Kernels coming to bat. You're enjoying Kernel baseball here in the zone.
At Zimmerman's, we believe that the voice of the customer speaks the loudest. Let's hear what our customers have to say.
We chose Zimmerman because our family has been buying cars. I guess we're probably the 3rd generation to buy cars here at Zimmerman.
My family's bought 18 cars at Zimmerman's. 18. I ought to get a little bonus or something, wouldn't it?
We build our reputation on one satisfied customer at a time. On behalf of everyone at Zimmerman's, I want to thank you for your business.
Forbes.com Small Business Report, brought to you by Sam's Club.
A Bangalore CEO talks about the best and worst parts of his job in a moment.
The notion of a 40-hour work week is several hours short of reality. Working long hours is a given when you run your own business. And since it's tough to be away from your business during the day, we offer special Gold Key hours, early morning hours from 7 to 10, when we're open exclusively for business members. We know that time and money are important to you. Helping you make the most of both is why we're here. Sam's Club. We are in business for small business.
Nandan Nilekani is the head of Infosys Technologies, an India-based IT company that has grown fast as more U.S. companies send jobs overseas. He says the best part of being a CEO is the impact you can have on your industry and on your country. Nilekani says the worst part is that you're under scrutiny all the time. For more on this and other stories, go to Forbes.com.
Alexi Casilla, who owns a 7-game hitting streak, is first up, batting left-handed against Joel Santo. Joel, a 21-year-old right-hander, a tall fella, 6'3", and he has a 1-0 lead with which to work. We'll set the Wizards for you defensively here as we go along in the bottom of the first. Ball 1 is outside. The catcher is big Colt Morton. At third, playing even with the bag and 10 feet off the line, is Baudilio Figueroa. The Wizard shortstop, first player taken in last year's draft, Matt Bush. He's only 19 years old. Sean Kazmar at second. Here's a bunt in the air by Casilla, and it's a base hit off the glove of the pitcher. And Scott, as we talked about on the 19th hole earlier this afternoon, there's the catalyst. There's the guy that makes things happen for the Kernels. And it wasn't even a good bunt, but it was good enough that the pitcher dropped it.
Yeah, probably one that Santo should have had. But we'll see how it's going to be scored. And touched it fair ground. So that is a fair ball. And Casilla on at first base.
Boy, Alexi is the best table setter we've seen here in quite a while. He reaches on a bunt single dropped by the pitcher. In Santos' defense, he had to race towards the line and almost collided with the third baseman. The runner goes, now gets back as strike 1 is called. Strike 1 to Nate Sutton. That Alexi Casilla is something else out there. He bounces all over the place.
Yeah, and he was lucky right there that Colt Morton couldn't get a good handle on the ball, or Alexi might have been striding back to the dugout.
Because he broke about a third of the way to second, then came back. Nate Sutton, meanwhile, looks at ball 1 high, a fastball. Nate's hitting .235. No homers, 10 RBIs, left-handed hitter out of UC Santa Barbara.
The Gauchos.
Oh, boy, that would take, and you even said it like Bill Raftery, Scott.
Raft hasn't done many Gaucho games, so.
Is a Gaucho an animal?
No, it's a
cowboy.
It will be a bunt single for Casilla. A gaucho is kind of a conquistador.
Okay, so it is a Spanish name.
Right.
Swing and a tip foul into the mid of Colt Morton. Nate Sutton's in the hole, 0-2.
Spanish cowboy.
Okay. Julia Jansen, who will do the second and third innings this evening, will probably know more about what a gaucho is than I do. Bob Brooks told us there's a kangaroo on the loose in South Bend. Did you hear about that one?
I have not heard that one.
Throw to first, and Alexi dives backhand first. Yeah, Bob said, I wish we were in South Bend, and I pondered it for a while and thought, well, Bob, you were inducted into the Hall of Fame at the College Football Hall of Fame. Was that? No, he said, this is so I could try to catch that kangaroo. A pitch in the dirt, and what a stop by Colt Morton to prevent the tying run Casilla from going to second base.
Well, he got all 6'5" out there and made a really quick play to his left, Colt Morton did. And tell you, this it is 1-0, and obviously the game not over, but Santo here, John, has been known to give up a bunch of home runs. He led the Pioneer League in home runs allowed in 2003. And he's given up a bunch this year. We were talking with Mike Moss from Fort Wayne, and 4 of his last 5 games he's given up a home run. And given up, I think, 10 this year.
Yes, 10 home runs. The league is hitting .273 against the tall, slender right-hander. Joel Santo, S-A-N-T-O, no relation to Ronnie. There goes the runner. A pitch high, ball 3. The throw to second into center field. Off the shortstop's glove, and on to third goes Alexi Casilla, sliding, popping up, and ready to go again. Alexi Casilla has stolen second, his team-high 22nd stolen base of the year. The throw by Colt Morton was fading from the outset towards right center field. It got by both the shortstop, Matt Bush, and the backup man, Sean Kazmar. It flicked off his glove into center, and a throwing error on Colt Morton, and Alexi Casilla. Alexi's at third as the tying run with nobody out.
Well, this hasn't been the prettiest executed game on both sides here in the first inning.
Not yet. A high drive to deep right, way back at the wall, way back, it may go, it's off the wall for extra bases. Nate Sutton has hammered a double high off the right field wall, and he ties the game here in the bottom of the first inning, 1-1. That is the hardest, longest drive we've seen this season off the bat of Nate Sutton.
Takes a good time to hit it there, John. Also, now Nate hit one Saturday night pretty deep at the 407 mark that I saw when I was here to the warning track. He would have hit that one Saturday night similarly in that spot. It would have gone out, but still, we'll take the double off the 390 mark.
Boy, did Nate ever launch that one. As Scott said, he got all of it on a 3-2 pitch, and the Kernels, just like that, have tied it and have the go-ahead run at second with nobody out for one of the hottest hitters, Freddy Sandoval, who tries to drag a bunt up the first baseline, and he missed it for strike one. Boy, Scott, that is an art that is, I think, one of the toughest to master in baseball, and there's nothing easy about this game, but if you know how to drag bunt, that's hours of practice and timing.
Boy, you got to be good at it, good hand-eye coordination. Figueroa is now in on the grass. 2 guys who tried to bunt on him.
Freddie, a switch hitter, swings at a changeup and didn't get it. Strike 2. Sandoval has hit safely in his last. Well, he's hit safely in, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of his last 8, including a 2-for-4 night last night. He put the Kernels ahead in the first with an RBI single. He could do it again here. There goes Sutton. Now he stops, and Sandoval cues it foul off the end of the bat just to the left of Scott and I, and it bounces down into the club seats behind home plate. 1-1 the score. We're in the bottom of the first inning. Boy, that's got to be disheartening if you're the Wizards and you score that run on the top of the first and your starter gives it up almost instantly.
Not benefit of an out so far.
Joel Santos steps off the rubber. Santos, 21 years old, and he pitched in 5 games with Peoria in Arizona last season, and he started 7 games with the Eugene Emeralds. Hacking one foul that hits the facade of the grandstand roof and ricochets all the way back halfway to the mound is Freddy Sandoval. That pitch was chin high, and Freddy tomahawked it.
Yeah, there's the reason why Santo's given up a bunch of home runs. And if he keeps the ball up there, it's going to be a long night.
Huge crowd on the Miller Mezzanine Terrace. We'll have to identify who that is in just a moment. That Miller Mezzanine Terrace is jam-packed as a curveball is low to Freddy Sandoval.
First Federal Credit Union is up there tonight, John.
Wow, that's my group, Scott.
There you go.
I met with Chris Neal way back in December, and I'm glad to know he contacted Andrea Murphy and that they're here tonight. They are here in abundance. Sutton dances off of second, the 1-2 to Freddy. A high drive to right. Way back is Thayer, and he can't get it. He cannot get it. It's off the wall at the 390 mark. Freddy Sandoval has given the Kernels the lead. He heads to third, slides in safely with a triple.
Right now, John, this is batting practice.
It's 2-1 Kernels, and even though Freddy was behind 1 and 2, just as you said, Scott, you put the ball letter high to any professional hitter, and ordinarily he's going to do great damage, and the Kernels have done that against Joel Santo. Freddy Sandoval belted one high and deep to right over the head of Matt Thayer. He got back to the wall. The sun, as Scott said, is murder right now on the right fielder, and Thayer may have gotten a glove on it, but it went over his head, and Freddy Sandoval drives home Sutton to make it 2-1 Kernels. It's Freddy's second triple of the season.
When the sun goes down a little bit, if that drive was later in the game, Thayer might have had a shot at it.
I would agree, Scott. The sun played a factor. He had to go way back from his right field position onto the warning track, just to the right of the 390 mark below the scoreboard, and just couldn't haul it in. It's a triple for Sandoval. There's still nobody out in the Colonel first, and Michael Collins takes ball one in the dirt, a changeup. Now another changeup, this one very good, and a swing and a miss by the .337 hitting Michael Collins. He has a 9-game hitting streak.
Santo, when he gets in trouble, it's with that fastball because he's just locating it up high. He's had a good curve so far and a pretty good changeup.
Michael Collins is waiting patiently for the 1-1, and it's in the dirt for ball 2. Nothing doing in the Fort Wayne bullpen. This is the 16th start of the year for Joel Santo. He's 2-5 with a 5.04 ERA.
Infield back as well for Fort Wayne, so they will surrender another run, try to stay out of a big inning.
Sandoval at third with that infield back, and there's a lot of hitting room up the middle. Matt Bush, the Fort Wayne shortstop, is playing Collins deep in the hole. Michael has not quite had enough at-bats to qualify to be in the top 10 in the league in hitting, but he will be shortly with his everyday appearance now in the lineup. Swing and a miss as a pitch ran in on his hand, strike 2. We want to give, well, words won't express our love of Tommy Duenas, who was let go today by the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Tommy served this community for 2.5+ years as a first-class man and friend of children, and we can't say enough about Tommy Duenas and what he meant. Here's a line drive over the third baseman's head into the left field corner. Freddy Sandoval trots home to make it 3-1 Kernels. Michael Collins has extended his hitting streak to a Kernel season-high 10 games as he drilled a liner over the head of Baudilio Figueroa to make it 3-1 Kernels. Collins with his 14th double of the year, 10-game hitting streak now, and I'm not sure, Scott, if Joel Santo's going to survive this first-inning barrage being laid on him by the Kernels.
No, and as a matter of fact, they're going to have a meeting at the mound right now as Steve Weber, the pitching coach, is out there. And that was the first curveball that was hit, and that was hit hard. Baudilio Figueroa reached up, but it was hit so hard it just whizzed by his mitt down the left field line. That's the third extra base hit in a row by a Kernel, and it's 3-1 Kernels. Tommy Duenas went to countless numbers of schools with me, representing the Kernels, Toyota Financial Services, the Cedar Rapids Gazette in our
greeting programs. Tommy always greeted you with a huge smile and wonderful word of happiness. That's how I would describe Tommy Duenas, a happy, happy fella. Today was not easy for the Kernel family or the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, but knowing the improvements Tommy made, especially defensively, I have a good feeling with catching still being in high demand that Tommy will find his way into another organization and be highly successful. Scott, sometimes getting released can give you a new lease on life.
Well, and it wasn't going to do Tommy any good to sit here and not play with the veteran background that he has. So let him help somewhere else, hopefully not in the Midwest League and against the Kernels, but we wish Tommy the best. And we also have a new player now.
Yes, Tim Duff, a fellow who caught for Provo on that Pioneer League championship team last year, has joined the ball club. Ball one inside to Toussaint, now a strike from Joel Santo. A high pop foul off to the right, and it puts Drew in the hole, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Drew Toussaint batting with a runner at second, Michael Collins, nobody out. The Kernels have erased a Fort Wayne 1-0 lead and are on top 3-1 here in the home half of the first inning.
Got a feeling it might be one of those nights, John?
Slugfest or Taco Bell 10 spot?
Well, both.
All right. Haven't had one in a while. Drew is jammed, and he rolls it foul past third base. Picking it up is Figueroa.
He's on the all-name team, too, Figueroa.
I remember a third baseman, one of the best defensive third basemen I've ever seen back in the early 70s with Detroit, Aurelio Rodriguez.
Oh, yeah.
That guy could have been a pitcher. He had a cannon for an arm at third base.
Not a great hitter.
No, about a 210 hitter.
Yeah, terrific third base.
Yeah, Baudilio Figueroa is quite a name. Collins at second. Matt Bush slides over a few steps to try to keep him close, and ball 2 is up and in to Drew Toussaint. Now the other cause for concern for the Fort Wayne Brain Trust, the high pitch count of Joel Santo here in the first inning.
Well, what's the Padres' take on pitch count?
Boy, Scott, I wish I could answer that. I know Ted Simmons is still one of the higher-ups in the Padre organization. The right-hander comes set at the chin, and his fastball is lifted foul up towards the Miller Mezzanine Terrace, where the great folks from First Federal Credit Union are.
Now, when you talked to them in December, did you promise them a 76-degree day?
I can't say that I did, Scott, but I did tell them that if they would entrust us, we would provide them with a fun, memorable, upbeat entertainment experience. And I hope they're having it right now. Toussaint waits patiently for the next pitch. Tips it foul off the shin guard of Colt Morton, the catcher. Drew has 10 home runs, 34 RBIs. He bunted his way on and scored in the Kernel 2-run 8th inning last night in a Kernel 6-3 victory. Physicians Clinic of Iowa, the exclusive health care partner of the Kernels, will bring us our Physicians Clinic of Iowa injury report here in the bottom of the first inning. The next delivery to Toussaint, it's a 2-2 offering. And he slaps it where? A high pop foul near the Kernel first base dugout, and skidding on his shin guards in front of the Kernel dugout is the catcher, Colt Morton. He made quite a play. Scott, I didn't see that pitch off the bat at all.
I think you're right in there with Lachlan Dale, the first baseman, because I don't think he saw it either, because he should have been the one over there to catch it in front of the Kernel dugout. That was a tough play by Colt Morton, and made it.
He had to go at least 70 feet to his right, and of course, the Kernel home dugout didn't give him any help or encouragement either. Warner Madrigal will try to pick up Drew Toussaint and drive Collins home. Ball 1, a slider inside from Joel Santo. In the outfield for Fort Wayne, Chris Colkhorst from Rice University in left. Yordani Rodriguez in center. We had a Yuba Rodriguez in here with Lansing. This is Yordani Rodriguez and Matt Thayer in right. Warner chops it foul over the third base coaching area where Bobby Magallanes is standing. In fact, Yordani Rodriguez is playing Warner Madrigal way into right center. A very light breeze is blowing out from home plate towards right center field.
Wind kind of shifted around. Maybe a telltale sign of the warmer weather that we're expecting.
A grounder to short. The runner will try to go to third, and Collins is safe. The ball gets away from the third baseman. Michael's going to race home to make it 4-1 Kernels. An error on Basilio Figueroa. He dropped the throw from Matt Bush. Collins would have been out by 5 feet. But then when the ball got away from the third baseman, Collins noticed nobody's hustling after it. Nobody's hustling after it. So Michael hustled home. The batter, Madrigal, goes to second, and that's an error on the third baseman. The second error of the first inning by Fort Wayne. And for the Wizards, this bottom of the first inning has been absolutely dreadful.
It has been a nightmare. That'll be a fielder's choice and an E5 on Figueroa. And he just took his eye off the ball, John, as he went to make the tag.
He was anticipating Michael Collins not bowling into him. Michael had started his slide. Now ball one is eyeing in to the number 7 hitter in the Kernel order, Josh LeBlanc. It's 4-1 Kernels. We're in the bottom of the first inning.
Now you told me a very similar story. We'll get to that after this pitch.
Josh hitting .246. Didn't play in last night's Kernel win.
Now, when the Kernels had the terrific first half last year, got into the playoffs, we took about 2 weeks off mentally. And right now, Fort Wayne in about the second week of their 2-week vacation mentally.
They are in low gear. You're absolutely right, Scott. And the sad part is ball 2 is high to LeBlanc, ball 3 rather. And now the body language of Joel Santo is almost that of surrendering, Scott. He really looks like a beaten warrior out there.
Yeah, it really does. I was just going to say, I wouldn't be surprised if we start to see somebody trot down for the bullpen.
We are. You see that kind of body language with your pitcher, it looks like he's having to walk the plank out there. The 3-0 to LeBlanc. He may be swinging. Ball 4 way high, and now the 8th man to bat here in the Kernel 4-run first inning will be Jordan Renz. Scott, I haven't been able to make out who that left-hander is yet.
That's Kyle Stutes.
All right.
From Texas.
Stutes pitched, I believe he pitched here last night. Let me double check. Jordan Renz, a 188 hitter, is batting with 2 on and 1 out in the Kernel 4-run first inning.
A lot of crooked numbers on the scoreboard so far for 1 inning.
4-1 Kernels. And a breaking pitch, the best pitch of the first inning by right-hander Joel Santo, is strike 1 called to Renz. Jordan Renz batting for the first time in this series. He didn't play last night. Right-handed hitter with a slightly open stance. And a high pop foul. This one will reach the stands, maybe the grandstand roof. It doinks off one of the premier seats just in front of the Kernel dugout, the home plate side of the dugout. Boy, that group from First Federal Credit Union is impressive in the Miller Mezzanine Terrace.
Oh, yeah. More groups out on the deck. St. Patrick's Church is here. Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation also here tonight.
Strike 3 call, the fastball to Jordan Renz on the outside corner. That's the second out of the inning. First and second for Chris Walston.
VRST is here as well as NK Brands and Syngenta Seeds.
Boy, we've got a lot of differing occupations here. That's great. Chris Walston, the 9th man to bat here in the Kernel 4-run first inning, facing right-hander Joel Santo. Ball 1, a fastball downstairs to Big Chris. Walston hitting 165, 6 homers, 15 RBIs. Hard to believe Chris is still looking for his first non-home run extra base hit. That's just hard to believe. The next one is tomahawk high in the air onto the Miller Mezzanine Terrace above the Kernel first base dugout. Now the wind is shifted again. It's kind of blowing from the left field foul pole to the right field foul pole.
Yeah, this is the way it was during pregame warm-ups for both teams. Kind of northwest wind, if you will.
Madrigal at second, LeBlanc at first. The 1-1 to big Chris Walston, right-handed batter. Breaking pitch just missed away for ball 2.
Casilla got everything started with a bunt single. He's on deck.
Well, that's hard to believe. 4-1 Kernels. Long look at second by the right-hander. And a swing and a tip foul into the glove of the catcher, Colt Morton, evens the count to Walston, and the deuces are wild here in the bottom of the first inning. 2 out, 2 on, 2-2 count to Chris Walston. The right field or the center fielder, Yordani Rodriguez, is shifted way into right center for big Chris. Let's hope he can put the ball in play. He does as he rattles it foul into the backstop. The count remains 2-2. The Kernels, with their victory last night, not only went 4-1 on the 8-game homestand, but on the year, evened their record here at Veterans Memorial Stadium at 22-22.
Finally back to 500.
Oh, it was a long, arduous climb, but the Kernels are there, and hopefully we won't see sub-500 at home the rest of the season. A curve is jackhammered foul onto the grass slope seating berm by Chris Walston. Down the left field line, she went.
Even the foul balls are hit hard.
Our Physicians Clinic of Iowa injury report. T.J. Stanton is still shelved with a pulled oblique muscle. I'll have more on that in a moment. T.J. expects to be back in about 5 days. Another 2-2 to Walston, and it's looped into right, and coming on is Matt Thayer. He has it. Well, a good at-bat for Chris Walston as he stroked it well into right. It was caught by Thayer. Joel Santo may have made 35 pitches in the bottom of the first inning. The Kernels erase a Wizard lead with a 4-run first, 4 runs on 4 hits. There were 2 Wizard errors, and the Kernels leave 2 men aboard. Colonel Broadcast Assistant Julia Jansen is standing by to take us through the second and third innings tonight with Scott alongside. After 1, Kernels lead Fort Wayne 4-1. This is Colonel Baseball in the zone.
A triple play, a rarity on the diamond, but produced successfully every day at South Slope Communications in North Liberty. The South Slope Communications triple play consists of voice, video, and data communications for your home or business. Achieve your communications triple play with South Slope Communications. South Slope is committed to providing the latest communications technology to their members while continuing to give service second to none. South Slope can provide your home or business with just about everything that connects you to information. Digital wireless phones, long-distance plans, data home and business wiring, video conferencing, dial-up and high-speed internet service, fiber optic installation and termination, and coming soon to all local servicing areas, digital video TV service. South Slope also rents out a beautiful community center event room in their magnificent new building in North Liberty. When you need anything in the communications field, select South Slope Communications. Visit them at southslope.com.
Got a headache? The relief you need is speeding your way with Advil Liquid Gels.
Liquid Fast.
Advil Strong.
For tough headache pain, the Liquid Fast pain relief of Advil Liquid Gels is faster and stronger than extra-strength Tylenol.
Liquid Fast.
Advil Strong.
Advil Liquid Gels are the only leading brand with real liquid inside. They rush relief right to where you need it. Find out what Liquid Fast pain relief can do for you. Advil Liquid Gels.
Liquid Fast.
Advil Strong. Use as directed.
We move to the top of the second. The Kernels on top of the Fort Wayne Wizards 4-1. Lachlan Dale will be first for the Wizards. He's batting .197, 12 home runs, 34 RBIs, 15 doubles, and no triples. Playing first base tonight. And pitched by Jesse Smith in there for strike.
I think John mentioned he's an Australian. Seeing more and more of those. I had to double check on that, though.
Michael Collins, our catcher, is from Australia as well. His family is in visiting until his 21st birthday on July 18th.
Keep an eye on it?
Probably. So I saw them after the game. They got his jersey after the auction yesterday. So the 0-2 pitch to Lachlan Dale is taken for a ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
He's from Kalamunda, Australia. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly.
And the 1-2 pitch, ball low, outside.
Lachlan Ryder Dale, 6'3", 190-pounder. Played at Eugene last year, the Eugene Emeralds, one of the great names of minor league baseball.
Even count to Dale, 2-2, and he pops one way up in the... And it'll come down, bam,
right above us. Right above us. I got a good feeling tonight. Had one right above us, just to the left. I will have a really good feeling if we get one just to the right.
Last time you were here, we had a foul ball come about through the window, and I hit the floor.
You hit the deck.
Yeah. Solid 2-2 pitch is driven up the middle, and let's see, Nate Sutton throws to first for the first out. Thought for a second there that it looked like Alexi Casilla over at second, and I thought, that didn't look right.
Made an Alexi Casilla type play, though, to his right. And throwing a little bit of something on it. Good thing 6'6" Chris Walston was over there at first base. He just put the glove up high a little bit higher, brought her in for the first out.
Now Matt Bush will be at the plate, right-handed batter from San Diego, California. Ball one is outside.
Number one draft choice in all of baseball in the 2004 June draft is Matt Bush.
Jesse winds up, and the 1-0 pitch. Ball two. One out here, top of the second. Kernels are on top of the Wizards by 3 runs. 4-1 Kernels. 2-0 pitch. There we go. Strike one.
This Bush is going to be a good ball player. As talking with Mike Moss from Fort Wayne before the game.
And Dale just caught the end of the bat on that one and throw over to first by Sutton. And Chris Walston didn't hold on to the ball, dribbled past him, but E3 on Chris Walston.
That was a great play by Sutton. Went to his right last time. This time goes to his left to corral the ball, hit by Matt Bush in the hole. And not sure what happened with Chris Walston. If there was contact with the runner and Chris. But it will be an error on Walston. And Sutton will get credit for an assist. But Bush will reach.
Already 2 errors by both teams. Kind of a sloppy play here tonight. Now, Yordani Ramirez is at bat. He's hitting .203, 3 home runs, 28 RBIs. Smith throws back to first, and Bush is back safely.
5 stolen bases, 7 attempts for Matt Bush, so does have some good speed. Interesting from San Diego. Of course, the Padres took him with the first pick.
I was reading in our pregame notes, they said that he told the Padres if they picked him first that he would sign with them. So he went ahead, and it sounds like a good deal to me, too. I would do that.
Well, it's a tough call because you got a guy with that much talent in your hometown, you almost have to take it.
So now Ramirez blasts the ball way out into shallow left, and Casilla is back to make the catch. 2 gone here in the top of the second.
It was a lot similar to the situation that the Minnesota Twins faced a few years back with Joe Mauer from Minneapolis and St. Paul, and they took him ahead of Mark Pryor. But Joe Mauer, hometown kid, brought in fans, can play every day.
So now with a runner on first, 2 outs here in the top of the second, Badillo Figueroa. Right-handed batter takes a big swing and a miss at strike one.
Probably he took a cut going for the fences, probably trying to atone for the error he made in the bottom of the first inning.
This is only his 28th game with the Wizards. Batting .244, and the runners go, and there's a drive right up the middle. Casilla steps on second and kind of almost trips over him, but caught himself. Didn't need to throw to first because that was the third out of the inning. So Alexi took care of everything all by himself. 4 batters in the inning. There was an error on first baseman Chris Walston, but there were no runs and no hits. And the Wizards have stranded 1. They've left 2 on the bases. We'll move to the bottom of the second. The Kernels still lead the Wizards 4-1. You're listening to Kernel Baseball in the Zone.
The way to pocket important savings is to take advantage of Chevron motor oils and lubricants from the Otson Oil Company, your local Chevron oil distributor. Chevron lubricants are made from higher quality base oils for better performance, and that means longer life for your engine. Contact the Otson Oil Company in Cedar Rapids for details on how you can save time and money with Chevron lubricants. The Otson Oil Company, serving Iowa with quality lubricants since 1933. Visit Otson Oil Company at www.otson.com.
When it comes to auto insurance, think fast. Think customized auto coverage with quick claims response from Farm Bureau Financial Services. Call Bill McNeil in Cedar Rapids to start getting the coverage you deserve. Farm Bureau Financial Services gets you back on your wheels in no time. For fast claim service, act quickly and think about auto insurance from Bill McNeil in Cedar Rapids. Farm Bureau Financial Services, more than you think. Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, West Des Moines, Iowa.
Kelly's Auto Center in Iowa City is the home of the nationwide 6-month, 6,000-mile warranty. Whether it's across town or across the country, you'll drive with confidence in a Kelly's car. Each of Kelly's vehicles receives a strict 110-point safety inspection to make sure you receive the quality used vehicle you've come to expect from us. A qualified mechanic checks each car, truck, and van bumper to bumper. For peace of mind on your next vehicle purchase, stop by and see Brett or Tim at Kelly's Auto Center at 510 South Riverside Drive in Iowa City.
We move to the bottom of the second at Veterans Memorial Stadium. The Kernels on top of the Wizards, 4-1. New pitcher for the Wizards. Joel Santo didn't stay on very long after a very messy first inning. And now Kyle Stutz is on the mound and delivers the first pitch to Alexi Casilla for ball one.
Messy is a good word for it.
It was messy. Errors everywhere, runners everywhere. The 1-0 pitch, ball high and away. Ball two.
Kyle Stutz has been outstanding this year, 0-1, making his 23rd appearance, a 1.71 earned run average. And he's thrown 21 innings, given up only 19 hits, only 4 earned runs, has struck out 29, and has only walked 6.
And now a broken bat single over there to the third baseman Figueroa, who throws over to Dale for first out. So Alexi Casilla grounds out.
That shattered the bat. Businessman went out just shy of third base on that chopper. And the umpire has a couple more splinters to hand Rhodey.
Nice.
That's probably why Stutz has got a 1.7 ERA. Got right on the hands of Alexi Casilla that time.
Nate Sutton takes a look at the first pitch, a ball high. 81 mile per hour pitch.
Stutz, a left-hander, facing the left-hander Nate Sutton.
Shadows are starting to creep across into left field. Pretty much most of the batter's box is in the shadows, kind of few specks of light. Shadows of people up on the third base side, on the concourse, are drifting onto the field.
Coming into play in the game.
2 balls and 1 strike to Nate Sutton. We have 1 out here in the bottom of the second. The 2-1 pitch, strike on the outside corner.
When you go to the bullpen, Julia, this early, you start a right-hander. Kernels put together a left-handed hitting lineup, basically, and now you bring in a left-hander. It's awful tough.
And Sutton sends one way foul down the third base line. It lands over by the tarp. So we'll do it again. It count even now, 2-2.
Matt Bush will flip it up into the crowd. And he'll retreat back to his shortstop position. Stutz doesn't waste any time. He didn't wait for his teammate to get back there too long at shortstop.
Yeah. So Nate Sutton, the even count, ball 3, gets away from the catcher. Nate bats left but throws right. It's an interesting combination. I tried throwing lefty last night on the field before the fireworks, and that was not happening for me. So ball 4 to Nate Sutton, and the Kernels have their first runner on the bases of the second inning.
That's a good at-bat. I'll tell you, Stutz not a very big guy, and Colt Morton just went out there and talked with him. Colt Morton at 6'5". Stutz is not 6'5".
He's 5'10".
Yep. looked maybe about 5'9", 5'8" compared to Colt Morton.
I noticed how he was catching last night, too, and I thought to myself, that is probably one of the tallest catches I think I've ever seen.
Interesting to see if he stays behind the plate.
So the first pitch to Freddy Sandoval is tipped foul back up to the net. 1 out here, bottom of the second. Kernels lead the Wizards 4-1. We have a runner on first, Nate Sutton. Freddy Sandoval had a triple in the first inning and scored. And Sutton goes. There's a pitch out, and they out at second base, so Nate Sutton got stuck stealing for his third time this year.
That was a heck of a throw by Colt Morton. Right at the bag, right at the slide. 2-4 to caught stealing as Kazmar was there to put the tag on.
So 1 ball and 1 strike to Sandoval. The windup in the pitch, foul back at the net.
4-1 Kernels here in the bottom of the second inning. All the runs scored in the first. 5 runs for both teams. We've had a total of 6 hits and 4 errors.
1-2 pitch is inside for a ball. Huge pitch yesterday, July 4th, only went 1 1/3 innings. Picnic deck out there is definitely full, so is the lower mezzanine, and there's a drive right up the middle. Diving Kazmar tried to make the play, but missed it, and now we have a new runner on first. Freddy Sandoval has a single and a triple today already.
Wow, and he's kept that hitting streak alive. Michael Collins with a 10-game hitting streak now, as he had an RBI double back in the first. His 34th run driven in of the year for Michael Collins.
Collins was 2 for 4 last night. He had a double that led off with the 6th and the 8th and scored on both of those hits last night. 2 out here at the bottom of the second. Michael Collins is using a red-looking bat tonight. Throw back to first. A nice little toss. No dive.
Well, the sun is right in the eyes of Lachlan Dale over there. You don't want to burn one over, or you might pick off the first baseman.
Now Stute sets and fires, and Collins sends one way down the first baseline. Foul. That will land out of the stadium.
Yes, it will. Bounded out.
And here come the hot air balloons. I see them out in the distance. They're just taking off from a different location tonight. Usually they're way out in the right field, and they're more over the 400 mark in center field tonight.
And I guess they land in different spots, too. I learned that the other day from Sean Carroll with TV9 Sports.
Now Collins sends another one way, and the sky. This will stay fair. The second baseman, Sean Kazmar, is there to make the catch for the third out of the inning. There's a pop out to the second baseman. We had no runs on 1 hit by Freddy Sandoval. No errors in this inning. There have been 2 errors by both teams. They leave 1 person on. The Kernels have stranded 3. We'll be back with the top of the third. You're enjoying Kernel Baseball in the Zone.
Do dragonflies really breathe fire? Maybe we can't answer a thought-provoking question like that. But Phil Andrews, your Pekin insurance professional at Weidenhammer Andrews Agency, can answer all your insurance questions. Phil Andrews is an insurance expert, and he can help you with all kinds of protection: auto, home, life, health, and business. Phil Andrews, your Pekin insurance agent at Weidenhammer Andrews, has all the right answers for the right insurance coverages for you and your family.
The 5 best days of summer are coming. The Great Jones County Fair and Food Fest, July 20th through the 24th in Monticello. On Thursday, July 21st, Dale Lee presents REO Speedwagon live at the Jones County Farm Bureau Amphitheater. On Friday, July 22nd, the Jones Regional Medical Center hosts the return of Rascal Flatts, presented by Coors Light. Special guest Miranda Lambert. On Saturday, July 23rd, Flex Sales presents Leonard Skinner. special guest, Dick Beck, and the Leathermen wrap up the fair on Sunday, July 24th, presented by the Cedar Rapids Kernels. See them perform live and on the jumbo projection screens presented by U.S. Cellular. Get your tickets now online at GreatJonesCountyFair.com and by phone at 465-3275. It's the 153rd Great Jones County Fair and Food Fest in Monticello.
Back with the top of the third at Veterans Memorial Stadium. Kernels still lead Fort Wayne 4-1. Top of the order for the Wizards. Chris Holthorst will be batting. Left-handed batter, uses a light ash. Got some pine tar down around the handle. Uses gray batting gloves that match his uniform.
Good guy to keep off the base path. This guy is trouble when he gets on. Scored the only run for Fort Wayne in the ball game.
First pitch by Jesse Smith is in there for a strike. I just flung a paperclip out of the press box. Sorry to anybody below.
Projectiles.
And he sends one way deep into left field that Doc LeBlanc is there to make the catch. So on 2 pitches, we have the first out of the inning.
That was actually tailing away a little bit from Josh LeBlanc. Made a pretty good play on it. That's tough when you're learning a new position like that.
He was kind of mixed in with the sun and the shadows out there. The sun shadows is between 407 and 400 feet, and imagine it was kind of difficult to make the catch on that ball. So now Matt Thayer looks at a ball outside. 1 out here in the top of the third.
Poor Matt saw his average drop 150 points with that out. Line drive to right in the first inning.
Says he's batting 750 before tonight.
Down to 600 now.
You don't see that very often. I had to do a double take. This is just his second game with the Wizards. So the 1-1 pitch from Jesse is bounced to Sutton, who throws to first, and Chris Walton makes the catch for the second out.
Now it's going to go down another 100 points to 500.
Might be downhill from here today. Chris Walton's parents are in town visiting, too. I saw them on the concourse yesterday and saw them again today before the game. So they're in from California. Lots of parents visiting.
Were they all here for the fireworks last night?
I believe so. It's a good show. You could see about 4 different fireworks shows from inside the stadium.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think I could see the ones up in Hiawatha, and I don't know my Cedar Rapids geography very well, but there were some others.
We'll work on that.
So the 0-1 count is sent way down the first baseline, foul. We'll do it again. Matt Lauderdale, the designated hitter tonight, had an RBI single in the first. He's out of Atlanta, Georgia. He uses a black bat and squats pretty low in his batting stance. Ball high.
Jesse Smith's done a pretty good job so far here tonight. He's retired 3 of the last 4 batters. First 2 out here in this inning.
1 strikeout. Big swing and miss for strike 3. That's the second strikeout for Jesse tonight. So 3 up and 3 down in the top of the third. Kernels lead Wizards 4-1. There was no runs, no hits, and no errors. They leave nobody on the bases. They've stranded 2. We'll be back with the bottom of the third. You're enjoying Kernel Baseball in the zone.
Hi, this is Dave Town with 5 Seasons Transportation and Parking. Do you ever wonder if it's safe to send your child on the bus? It is, and here's a few reasons why. All the buses in Cedar Rapids are equipped with security cameras, so the drivers always know what's happening behind them. The buses also have global positioning systems, or GPS, which means they can be tracked at any time by satellite. Does that surprise you? It shouldn't. 5 Seasons Transportation takes safety very seriously, and we've taken many steps to make sure your child will have a safe, easy ride every time they take the bus. Even when your child isn't on the bus, 5 Seasons Transportation is helping keep them safe by using pollution-free biodiesel and alcohol fuels, Iowa products that help keep the air clean. And if your child is ever in trouble, they can always flag down a bus for help. I'm Dave Town, and I like to think of the bus as a traveling safety cocoon, motoring along Cedar Rapids streets. And keep in mind, if the bus is that safe and easy for your child, Maybe you should think about riding the bus to work. Affordable, convenient, and safe. That's the bus. Ride it.
Well, I'll tell you, there was nothing like seeing Touchdown Jesus looking down on the stadium, right? You know, walking through the tunnel in the Coliseum is something you never forget. Playing for USC, especially against a team like
the roar of the crowd when you enter the horseshoe for the first time is something I'll never forget.
Mike Golick, Sean Salisbury,
Kirk Street,
defensive end, quarterback,
Notre
Dame, class of 85, Southern Cal, 1986,
Ohio State, 1992.
Now, they're all on our team. The College Football Experience on ESPN Radio.
The lights are on here at the stadium. We move to the bottom of the third. The Kernels are leading the Wizards 4-1. All of the runs were scored in the first inning of the game. Wizards scored 1, the Kernels scored 4. And now Drew Toussaint, the left fielder tonight, will be batting for the Kernels.
Top of the hour, you're listening to Colonel Baseball here in the zone, ESPN Radio 1600, KCRG, Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
Drew has an even stance and sends the first ball way out to right field on the warning track. Holy cow, that ball is out of here.
Kept carrying and carrying. Drew Toussaint with his 11th home run, and that takes over the team lead, I believe. Yes. Team leader now. Drew Toussaint went out to right field off the Tri-Vision sign, and it's now 5-1.
I did not think that ball was going to leave this ballpark when it was off his bat. I thought it was going to be in middle to shallow right field, and it went out and smacked against the advertisements in right field.
Came right off of him. Yeah, I was with you. I didn't think that was going to get out. It hit pretty good, but thought it was going to stay in the ballpark, and that's not a home run off of Santo, but Stutz instead, who misses outside.
2 balls, no strikes for Warner Madrigal.
Final line on Santo, we'll give you that here after this pitch.
And there's a tapper to the shortstop who throws over to the first baseman, Lachlan Dale, for the first out of the inning.
Joe Santo went 1 inning, gave up 4 hits, walked 1, he struck out 1, gave up 4 runs. 3 of those earned for Santo, who threw a bunch of pitches and had little help when he did get some pitches that weren't clobbered off the wall.
Now left-hander Josh LeBlanc takes a look at the first pitch and swings and fouls it back.
Off-speed pitch. Stutz does a good job of changing speed.
He works very quickly on the mound, too. He doesn't have much downtime. Kind of reminds me, Ronnie Ray works really quickly like that on the mound for the Kernels, too. 0-1 pitch is in there for strike 2. This is the 19th game for Josh LeBlanc after coming off the disabled list about a week ago.
Now started off as the second baseman, now predominantly a center fielder.
Whirling Waters hot tub is in use tonight. Great night for that. 75 degrees out here at the stadium. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Josh LeBlanc. 1 out here, and Josh takes that ball to the second baseman, who flips to Dale. That was a 4-3 play.
Nice play there by Sean Kazmar. And to wait back on that hop, picked it up and got the peg over to the first baseman, Lachlan Dale.
So now Jordan Renz, the designated hitter tonight, takes a look at the first pitch, ball outside. Jordan didn't play last night. He had a night off. Night before that, he was 0-for-4, but drove in a run. 1-0 pitch, big swing and a miss by Jordan.
Sean Rodriguez gave Jason LeBlanc a little high five as he got back into the dugout there. Saw him good hit. Hang with him.
Jordan's batting 188. Another swing and miss. He might have got a piece of that one, but 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. The Kernels have scored 1 in the bottom of the third. They lead the Wizards now 5-1. And Jordan smashes a ball way deep into center field. But gets caught up in the wind way up there, and the center fielder, Yordani Rodriguez, makes the catch. So the Kernels are retired after 4 batters, but not before they scored 1 on a home run by Drew Toussaint, his 11th of the season. There was 1 run on 1 hit, no errors. Kernels didn't leave anybody aboard. They've stranded 3 in the game. Kernels on top of the Wizards, 5-1. We'll be back with the 4th. You're enjoying Kernel Baseball in the Zone.
Everyone wants their print and copy needs to be done right and to be done on time. Copyworks will meet those expectations. Copyworks will see to it that your work is of the highest quality. They'll do that by consulting with you at your place of work. Copyworks stands behind their work for you. It will be done right and it will be done on time. You can count on Copyworks to come through for you. When it's important to you, Copyworks lets your work shine through.
Copyworks, Copyworks.
When we met, it's forget, we would never forget the Ojanos. Now it's where mi amore and I dine in. We carry out the lunch and the dinner all the time for lasagna, ravioli, mandacati, cannelloni, tortellini, or try their delicious salads and sub sandwiches too. The Ojanos is the hometown taste of Italy. For your next meal with friends and a family, remember the Ojanos with 5 convenient locations for the pasta that makes you sing.
And the pot is up to $500,000.
The Poker Grand Championship. You're gambling with the best, but you're twitching from the itching, squirming from the burning, and it's doing nothing for your poker face.
Oh, I should have used Preparation H. Oh.
Wherever you go, cleanse, cool, and soothe with Preparation H portable wipes. 4 times bigger than Tux pads and individually wrapped to take anywhere discreetly.
I'll raise $5,000.
Preparation H portable wipes. Big relief to go. Use as directed.
Scott Udesh, John Rogers with you as we go to the top of the 4th inning. Kernels with a 5-1 lead over the Fort Wayne Wizards. Jesse Smith giving up only 1 run in the first 3 innings. He'll face 4, 5, and 6, the meat of the order for the Wizards. It'll be Colt Morton, Sean Kazmar, and the Aussie Lachlan Dale to face the right-hander. Morton sliding to left and Drew Toussaint his first time up, and he takes a look at a pitch down and in for ball 1. Great to have you with us. Not a bad crowd tonight. A ton of people on the mezzanine, as John mentioned earlier on. They're in there like sardines. Here's the 2-hop ground ball to the second baseman. Charging in is Nate Sutton. He flips it over to first for the first out of the top of the 4th inning, and Colt Morton is out of there.
Scott, we also want to welcome over 1,000 here, I believe, from PMX Industries, and they are a really neat company. They make coins that I believe go to the mints, the U.S. mints, but the actual coins, I believe, are made at PMX Industries.
That's right. They did help us out a few years back at the old ballpark. 1 out, base is empty, and a strike call to Sean Kazmar. Struck out at the end of the first. 5-1 Kernels. Drew Toussaint with a team-leading 11th home run, John.
To right field.
Low curve for a strike.
That's got to light up the eyes of Tony Regans, the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim farm director, because Drew is showing a lot of good things as a Colonel.
We'll ask you here. Did you think that ball was going to get out of here?
I did, by the sound of it, yes.
Okay. I thought it might get to the track. I didn't know it was going to get out there. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Sean Kazmar in there from the right side. Smith delivers. Just missed outside, and it's even up at 2-2. Base is empty. Kernels straight away for the right-handed hitting Kazmar at 256. Does have 4 home runs. He's driven in 29. And he slaps one in the air to right. Going back on it toward the line is Warner Madrigal. Only one hands it in front of the warning track for out number 2.
And that for Jesse Smith is 7 in a row. He has not allowed a hit since the first inning, in which the Wizards took the lead on an unearned run.
And he's letting the defense make the plays for him, John. He's doing a good job staying within himself and staying on top. Lachlan Dale, a ground-out victim, his first time up. Interesting numbers for the Aussie. 12 home runs, 34 driven in as he hits one sharply to third. Nice play by Sandoval to his left. Long throw, and they get Dale at first base. 6 in a row. in a 1-2-3 inning, and we'll talk about Lachlan here when we return. 1-2-3 inning for the Kernels here in the top half of the fourth inning against the Wizards, and we'll head to the bottom of the fourth. It's the Kernels 5, Fort Wayne 1, and you're listening to Kernel Baseball right here in the Zone.
There's a toll-free way you can call the KCRG TV9 News team with your news tips. Just dial 365-9999. 365-9999. It's Newsline 9, and it's your direct line to the TV9 newsroom. Call us with breaking news, interesting story ideas, weather information, or sports score. When you see news happen anywhere in eastern Iowa, remember this number, 365-9999. Newsline 9. It makes you a part of the KCRG TV9 News team.
Race fans want the inside scoop on what's going on in the world of IMCA racing? Listen each Saturday morning at 8 a.m. for In the Pit from the IMCA Motorsports Radio Network. John and Junior take you around the Midwest and the country with the latest news, results, and interviews with the nation's top drivers.
Hi, I'm Doug Thompson of the IMCA Motorsports Radio Network. I hope you get a chance to catch John and Junior and In the Pit every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. from KCRG 1600 AM, The Zone from Cedar Rapids.
Now you can say Go Hawks with authentic Hawkeye merchandise from the official Iowa Hawk Shop. You can shop online anytime at www.hawkshop.com or stop by one of our stores in the Iowa City Coralville area. Our main store on Highway 6 in Coralville is open 7 days a week. We have the latest styles available and sizes to fit just about everyone, including Nike sideline apparel. When you shop at the official Iowa Hawk Shop, all your purchases help support University of Iowa athletic and student programs. Shop online at www.hawkshop.com or call 1-800-HAWK-SHOP. Go Hawks!
5-1, Kernels enjoying a 4-run lead as we head to the bottom of the fourth inning here from Veterans Memorial Stadium. Left-hander Kyle Stute starting his third inning of work down low to Chris Walston. Chris went to the opposite field and lined to Matt Thayer out in right his first time up. 5 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors for the Kernels. A run, 2 hits, and 2 big errors by Fort Wayne. And it's now 2-0 to big Chris Walston. This Stutes kid, he's tough, John.
He's out of Lamar. Earlier you knew that Nate Sutton's school, UC Santa Barbara, was the Gauchos. I don't know what Lamar's nickname is.
Oh, boy. There's a swing and a miss. Took something off of it. Cardinals, maybe?
Is that where Fang Mitchell coaches?
No. Here's the 2-1 offering. A swing and a pop-up. That's going to go over our heads, just to our right. And it's now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Fang Mitchell, where was he? He's in the Texas system.
I know Lamar is in Texas, but
Houston? No, not Houston. Now, I'm all messed up. The 2-2, tip foul into the catcher's mitt for strike 3, and that's the first strikeout for the left-hander Kyle Stute. And I'll bring up the top of the order for the Kernels and Alexi Casilla. 5-1. Glad the Kernels got the lead against Santo because this Stutes guy's tough with an ERA of less than 2. Here's Casilla. He's going to drag bunt it toward the second baseman, and he's going to beat it out. No chance to get Casilla at first. He put that in the Bermuda Triangle, John, between the second baseman, the first baseman, and the pitcher. And nobody had a shot at it.
A listener on the Friday South Slope Communications Triple Play Show asked the manager about 2 months ago, asked how you defense that bunt that Alexi just executed, and Bobby said there is no defense of it. It becomes a race between the batter and the pitcher is always going to lose because the bunt is unexpected.
Absolutely. You get it by the pitcher on that drag bunt to the right side, you're going to be on. Casilla will retreat back to first. Slow toss to first by Kyle Stute. Lexi, 2 bunt singles tonight. Good to see.
Great for Tony Regans to see.
Casilla, this guy is excitement. Here's a swing and a foul to our left by Nate Sutton. Nate's had a good night. RBI double back in the first and walked in the second. Nate starting to pick up the average. Freddy Sandoval starting to swing a big stick. We know what Michael Collins has been doing. Hitting is contagious.
So is good pitching as the bullpen is exhibited.
The 0-1 slow curve swatted foul, and it's 0-2 to Nate Sutton.
Scott, I have a fun story to share with you that broadcast assistant Julia Jansen passed on to me. Julia takes a publication from the Cubs called not the Vineyard, the Vine Line. The Vine Line.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
No, I'm sorry for Julia.
Oh, okay.
1 out, 1 on. Look to first, the delivery, and here's a chopper right at the first base bag. There's an out there, and they go to a second. And it's going to be, I believe, a safe call there, or was it a foul ball?
Now, the umpires have made 2 different calls. The plate umpire said it was a fair ball down the first base line. And then he called Casilla out at second. Casilla was safe because the second baseman dropped the ball. And I don't think they know yet whether Casilla's out or safe at second.
Well, he's safe, and the batter, Sutton, is out.
First of all, the ball looked foul.
So it's going to be just a first baseman unassisted. And the runner will advance 90 feet into scoring position. For Freddy Sandoval, an RBI triple back in the first, also a single right up the gut. 2 outs, runner on, and a vicious line shot that almost took out Bobby at third base.
Oh, he had to really dodge that one quickly, Scott. In Julia Jansen's Vine Line, there was an offer for Cub fans to get to play catch on the field, just like the Kernel fans did after the game before the Freedom Festival fireworks last night.
How much?
Well, do you know how much our fans had to pay?
Zip.
Right. $200 for the Cub fans.
Here's a high fly ball hit pretty well to center. Going back on it, Rodriguez, and he camps underneath it in front of the 400 mark. Ball's carrying tonight, John. That ball was not hit all that well by Sandoval, but almost made it out to the warning track. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and the Kernels leave a man on. They've left 4 on through 4 at bats. We're through 4 complete here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. And after 4, it's Kernels 5, Fort Wayne 1. You're listening to Kernel Baseball here in the Zone.
Kirby, the recycling mascot, wants you to take a bite out of landfill space by recycling cardboard. It's easy. Cardboard should be flattened, tied and bundled in 2x3 foot bundles, then placed next to the blue recycling box for curbside collection. Your friends at Solid Waste and Recycling want to thank Cedar Rapids residents for their continuing efforts to reduce waste and save landfill space.
Your Cedar Rapids and Marion Hy-Vees are proud to support one of our community's most renowned and cherished assets, the Cedar Rapids Kernels. Your Cedar Rapids and Marion Hy-Vees believe in the core values that comprise the essence of Kernel baseball: fun, wholesome, affordable entertainment for us all. As you look ahead to the many joys of summer, your Cedar Rapids and Marion Hy-Vees encourage you to visit the fabulous new Veterans Memorial Stadium. Your Cedar Rapids and Marion Hy-Vees, embracing Kernel baseball, a community treasure.
Hi, this is Larry King. If you're drinking orange juice to be healthy, why not consider drinking Welch's 100% grape juice, too? According to research, Welch's 100% grape juice has twice the antioxidant power of orange juice, because Welch's is made from antioxidant-rich Concord grapes with no added sugar, so it's actually good for your heart. So while OJ may be a good way to start your day, delicious Welch's grape juice is a great way to enjoy your life. Welch's 100% grape juice. Be heart smart. Pour yourself a glass today.
Top of the 5th inning, it's 5-1 Kernel lead. Scott Unash and John Rogers with you on this beautiful Chamber of Commerce weather night here at the ballpark. 75 gorgeous degrees. Jesse Smith has put down 6 in a row.
Scott, I have him down for 8 in a row.
The fielder's choice isn't out, so you're right, 8 in a row.
Well, let's see. I have him the last 2. He got the last 2 in the second, didn't he?
Correct.
Yeah, and then you're right, the next 6.
Matt Bush, the former #1 overall draft choice, takes a peek at an inside pitch and backs away for ball 1. You know, we were talking about Joe Mauer, John. It's a tough situation when you have a hometown kid and you have that #1 draft choice. Not to say that Matt Bush shouldn't be there. Here's a sharply hit ground ball to the left side. Casilla bobbles it, and he would have had a tough play anyway at first. We'll have to wait and see how that'll be ruled, but it's going to be an infield thing.
Good ruling by Al Gruel, because it was Freddy Sandoval diving to his left, and if he could have gloved it, he might have had Matt Bush. But then when it got by Freddy deep in the hole, yes, Alexi did bobble it, but he would not have had a chance. I'll tell you one guy who can sure relate to that, Scott. Well, two guys. Jimmy Pearsall was born in New England and played for the Red Sox, and you know what that did to him.
Yep.
He and his father. And then
here's a swing and a long one to left. Will it stay fair? It is gone. A rocket line drive home run by Yordani Ramirez. And just like that, John, it's 5-3, Colonel.
Well, the long ball will do it for you, and you wouldn't expect a number 8 hitter at batting .203 with 3 home runs to light into one like Yordani Ramirez did, but that thing was hit like a bullet onto the third tier of the Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion and left. The only question is you called it, Scott, fair or foul, and it stayed fair on a line, and it's a 2-run Colonel lead now.
Yeah, that one took about 2.3 seconds to get out of here. So the lead now at 2 at 5-3, and Smith delivers up high to Baudilio Figueroa, the third baseman. 244 hitter. 5-3, Colonel's out in front. Slider misses, and yeah, Matt Bush is going to be a good player. Already a good player in the Padre organization. This Padres have done it right. Here's a 2-0, and it's hit high in the air to right. Coming in and toward the line, Warner Madrigal gets underneath it and puts it away for the first down.
Another guy that just had a terrible time playing in his home city. Remember the Red Sox, Scott, in the mid to late 80s had a third baseman named Scott Cooper?
That's right.
Maybe the mid-early 90s. He came to St. Louis, and, man, he just could not play in front of the home folks. And he was out of baseball, I think, playing in Japan within a year. Some guys can thrive on it and love it, and, well, Tony Gwynn never left San Diego,
No.
did he? And that was his home city, I think. I'm not sure about that.
Well, and, you know, with Cooper as well, didn't he come after Boggs? He was supposed to be the guy that replaced Wade Boggs as well. It's high and tight to the leadoff man, Chris Colcourse.
Now, one guy that loved playing in his home city, an original, well, he played his whole career with the Mets, Ed Kranepool.
Ed Kranepool.
He was from New York City.
That's right. The 1-0 with one out, the base is empty. There's the strike call. 1 for 2, and you're faced, when you're that hometown team, you almost have to take that kid.
You're kind of chastised by everybody if you don't.
Especially if he turns out to be a great ball player. Here's a slow roller to the second baseman, and Sutton throws out Colcourse for the second out here in the top of the fifth. 2 in, 5-3 Colonel lead.
Well, remember, Scott, when Tommy Lasorda thought he had his dream come true, Eric Davis and Darryl Strawberry, both from Los Angeles, were Dodgers for a short amount of time.
Very short. And, of course, the latest example, Matt Bush. But prior to that, it was Joe Mauer with the Minnesota Twins. Joe Mauer out of the Twin Cities. They passed on Mark Pryor to take him. 2 out, bases empty, and the curve inside the mat there. Matt's 0 for 2 after a 3 for 4 night in his debut last night for Fort Wayne. Outfield slightly over to the left for Thayer. Right-handed hitter, and the ball gets away from Michael Collins all the way to the backstop.
Scott, following this top of the fifth inning, we're going to keep it here for a moment. I have some exciting news from Peck's Flower and Garden Shop that I'll share live with our listening audience.
Can't wait to hear about that. Here's a line drive right at Nate Sutton, who had to move 2 steps to his right. Puts it away with the backhand. And Thayer hit it hard, but he's taking the collar tonight at 0 for 3. But Fort Wayne edges closer. They do so on 2 runs, a 2-run home run by Yordani Ramirez, and 2 hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. We're halfway home from Vet Stadium, and after 4.5, it's the Kernels 5, Fort Wayne 3. And you're enjoying Kernel baseball right here in the zone.
This is The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Hello? Yeah, this is Aaron from Georgia. I just wanted to tell Colin that he's a genius, man.
Oh, hold on. Let me get Colin for you. Stay there. I'll get Colin
right
for you.
next to you.
Hold on. Let me.
Colin, come here.
Yeah, there he is.
Yeah, well, go ahead. This is Colin.
Colin, man, you're a genius. I agree.
They have the finest quality flowers and plants for both indoors and out. Plus, as always, all the expert advice you need to make your plants grow their best. Whether it's a single fresh flower or an entire wedding bouquet, a single house plant, or a total yard of landscaping, Peck's does it all. Family owned and serving Eastern Iowa since 1956. Stop in for Peck's Fresh Flower feature in July. Fresh cut short stem roses just $9.95 a dozen, cash and carry. Peck's Flower and Garden Shop, Nursery and Landscaping. They're at the corner of Blair's Ferry and Edgewood Road Northeast, and they've been growing with Eastern Iowa, family-owned since 1956. As Scott said, after 4.5 innings, it's the Kernels leading Fort Wayne 5-3. Scott will tell you about a new Wizard hurler in just 30 seconds here in the zone.
The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Hello? Yeah, this is Aaron from Georgia. I just wanted to tell Colin that he's a genius, man.
Oh, hold on. Let me get Colin for you. Stay there. I'll get Colin
right
for you.
next to you.
Hold on. Wait.
Colin, come here.
Yeah, there he is.
Yeah, go ahead. This is Colin.
Colin, man, you're a genius. I agree totally with you about the pitching stuff.
Thank you. I feel like I'm a genius.
Don't be left out of the Herd. Only on ESPN Radio.
For the Fort Wayne Wizards, third pitcher of the night, and boy, he is greeted with a line drive shot right up the middle that buzzed the tower of Jonathan Ellis, and a leadoff single for Michael Collins.
By who else? Yes, the .337 hitting Colonel catcher and cleanup batter who's already extended his hitting streak to a team-high 10 games. Man, did he give Jonathan Ellis out of the Citadel, the same school that produced former Colonel and Angel rookie Dallas McPherson.
Who's doing very well. Here's Drew Toussaint. And Drew, last time up, hit his team-leading 11th home run, went the opposite way to right center. And he takes a look at a strike. Drew 1 for 2. 5-3 Colonels leader here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Ellis from the belt. Right-hander takes a peek first and delivers, and a swing and a miss on a curve. Tight curve that time.
John stayed right at home in Charleston, South Carolina to endure the rigors of military training at the Citadel. He was a 6th-round pick by San Diego last year, and his record on the 2005 campaign 1-0.
Here's a little bloop shot out to short right field. Second baseman Kazmar going out and makes the running grab. First out, Collins stays put at first, and here's Warner Madrigal. Not probably the best hit-and-run guy on the team here, but you never know what Bobby might do. We'll have the scores in the State Farm Major League scoreboard and the Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question coming up in the next inning for you to enjoy. Runner on at first, short lead by Michael Collins, being held on by Dale, and there's a foul right side, and it bounds off the Papa John's terrace. Papa John's Pavilion over there. 5-3 Kernels here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Warner Madrigal, straightaway stance, slow curve. That catches a piece of the inside corner, and he's in the hole 0-2.
John Ellis, 30th appearance to lead the, he's third on the team in appearances. No, second. This is his 30th outing, a 1-0 record, no saves, a 2.84 ERA.
He's been good, too, and he gets Madrigal on 3 pitches as Warner went chasing a low curveball. 2 outs, runner on at first.
44 1/3 innings for Ellis. He's given up 43 hits in 44 1/3, struck out 36 in 44 1/3, walked 15. The league hitting .254 against 6-foot even right-hander out of the Citadel, John Ellis.
Josh LeBlanc, 0 for 1 with a walk. Not sure if Michael Collins will be going or not. You never know. Not being held on, though, by Lachlan Dale. And you got to wonder if the two Aussies are talking shop over there.
Howdy, mate.
Pitch upstairs to Colt Morton, catcher.
Actually, I think the appropriate phrase would be, no worries, mate.
A little good day thrown in there and all that good stuff. Collins not being held on. I wonder if they played against one another in Australia somewhere. Here's a little chopper to the second baseman. Kazmar charges, off-balance throw, and he gets LeBlanc, who taps out to second to close things out for the Kernels here in the bottom of the 5th inning. No run. A leadoff single is framed. No errors. And the Kernels leave a man on. They've left 5 on through 5 innings. We'll head to the 6th. It's the Kernels 5 and Fort Wayne 3. And you're listening to Colonel Baseball right here in the zone.
I'm Dave Shea. For 35 years, I was a news anchor for Channel 2. You may also have seen me driving around Cedar Rapids in my Honda Accord. Well, I retired from broadcasting, but I haven't given up my Honda. For years I've told friends they should consider owning a Honda, specifically from Randy Keel Honda. Randy is a local dealer with 13 years of experience in matching drivers to the right vehicle. He has a fine selection of new Hondas as well as quality pre-owned vehicles. And more than just a reliable service department, Randy Keel Honda offers Honfidence, a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty on every new vehicle sold. You can take my word for it, but you may also want to talk with other Honda owners. They're people you know, your friends, your neighbors, maybe even your relatives. And you can do more homework by logging on to Randy's website at www.randykeel.com. I'm a satisfied Honda owner, and I'm sure you will be too. See Randy Keel Honda today on Center Point Road Northeast.
Ever wonder who coined the phrase, "We eliminate the middleman"? Well, one thing's pretty certain. It wasn't the middleman. And how did they eliminate him? Something fishy there. But I digress. Geico pioneered direct-to-consumer car insurance over 65 years ago, and they've been saving smart drivers money ever since. Give them a call, and you might ask them, what did they do with the middleman?
Geico's customer satisfaction stands at 97%. How would you rate your car insurance company? Geico, 1-800-947-AUTO. 15 minutes could save you 15%.
Dairy Queen dugout dance taking place here at Vet Stadium.
Always elicits the loudest roars from the crowd.
Helped out by the master of the Dairy Queen, Mr. Clancy Harrington, and great Chiefs fan.
You and Clancy need to get together to eulogize Hank Stram. As you were so kind, Scott, to make time with me on the 19th hole to let me express my sheer admiration and respect for the late Hank Stram. I still can't believe he's not with us.
Yeah, it's a shame. Boy, Hank was terrific. And everything he did, coaching, broadcasting, just a goodwill ambassador of football. Matt Lauderdale, the number 3 hitter in the Fort Wayne order, to face Jesse Smith, and he swings through with slow curve. He's in the hole 0-1. Lauderdale with an RBI single in the first and a strikeout victim back in the third. 6th inning, Springhouse baseball trivia question coming up in a moment. 5-3, Kernels lead it. And a swing and a foul, and quickly Lauderdale in the hole, 0-2.
If you've been a previous winner, and we've had 44 of them this season, please don't call in this evening for the $5 gift certificate from the Springhouse, but certainly play along wherever you're tuned in.
Happy 6th birthday to Molly Fernandez. Here's a swing and a foul tip, held on to by Collins. And that's the second straight strikeout for Matt Lauderdale. And he is the third victim for Jesse Smith, 1 out in the 6th.
Bob Brooks likes to point out when a Colonel starting pitcher has an issue to walk, and Jesse has not put a man on base via a walk tonight.
Colt Morton taking the counter. He's 0 for 2. He swings and hits one hard to Sandoval. Made a nice play and a tricky hop and throws out Colt Morton, who went fishing after the first pitch. Quickly, 2 outs here in the top of the 6th inning, and we better get to our question here.
If you're looking for a great way to save mom time and anguish in the kitchen, call the Springhouse for their broasted chicken. You can order and pick it up at the Springhouse Broasted Chicken. Our Springhouse trivia question: name the 2 National League teams that have not had a winning season since 1992. Name the 2 National League teams that have not had a winning season since 1992. 896-7589, 896-7589, 896-7589, the number to call for your chance to earn a gift certificate from the Springhouse.
Here's a high flying to right center field. Going back on it in a hurry is LeBlanc, and he makes a running grab in the right center field power alley between the 390 and the 403 side. That ball carried as well, but tracked down by Josh LeBlanc. 1-2-3 inning for Jesse Smith. And one more time with the phone number, John, or we got a winner already.
Let's get some indication from we do have a winner, and
we'll take long.
No, we'll congratulate that winner of the $5 gift certificate from the Springhouse when the Kernels come up in the home half of the 6th inning.
Through 5.5, Kernels lead at 5-3, and you're listening to Kernel Baseball here in the Zone.
This is The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Barry Bonds told a federal grand jury he used a clear substance and a cream. 2 prosecutors also presented Bonds with documents that allegedly detailed his use of a long list of other drugs. He denies those. Bonds said, as far as he knew, his trainer had given him flaxseed oil. All right, if you still believe Bonds, then you must think he is the dumbest professional athlete in pro sports. Because Barry Bonds, as he begins to rocket 600-foot home runs, as he approaches 40, as he becomes the toughest out in the history of Major League Baseball, it's all because of, quote, flaxseed oil. We looked it up. The dictionary defines as an ancient herb that heals. The only herb I know that heals is that guy Herb Schwartz who works the spot Cedar.
Don't be left out of the herd. Only on ESPN Radio.
Beat the heat at Hunter's Ridge with the Dew Sweeper Special. Get a round of golf and a cart for under $20. Just start before 9 a.m. and you're on the links at Hunter's Ridge cheap. Watch your tee shot rise into the morning sun and enjoy the day's early temperatures weekdays at Hunter's Ridge. The Dew Sweeper Special nearly doubles your golf dollar. 18 holes and a cart at Hunter's Ridge for $19.95 Monday through Friday before 9 a.m. Hunter's Ridge, getting you out to enjoy golf cheap. Hunter's Ridge in Marion.
Jordan Renz tries to check up on a curveball, couldn't do it. He's in the hole 0-1 as we join you in the bottom of the sixth inning. 5-3 Kernels, 5 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors for Cedar Rapids. 3 runs, 4 hits, and 2 errors for Fort Wayne. And John, we've got a winner to tell you about in the baseball trivia question.
Thanks, Scott. We sure do. We ask our listeners to name the 2 National League teams that have not had a winning season since 1992, and we'll congratulate the winner after this 0-2 pitch to Renz and tell you the answer that he gave to earn the $5 gift certificate to the Spring House.
Time call.
Aaron Reed of Marion, Iowa, identified the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Milwaukee Brewers, who have not, the 2 teams in the NL who have not had a winning season since 1992.
Swing and a miss by Renz, and he's out on 3 pitches. Jordan 0 for 3 tonight. Second strikeout for Jonathan Ellis. That'll bring up the first baseman, Chris Walston.
The Pirates were 96 and 66 in 1992 under Jimmy Leland, and the Brewers were 92 and 70 in 1992. And I can't remember if Tom Troublehorn was their skipper. I'll have to look that up. But Aaron Reed, congratulations! You've earned a $5 gift certificate to the Spring House. Aaron Reed.
Pitch inside to Walston, and we're going to get you the scores on the State Farm Major League scoreboard.
We'll get to those after we recognize our State Farm insurance agents.
Swing and a miss on a slow curve. Dale Thompson, Lanny Peterson, Al Shetler, and Gary Shubat.
Boy, Scott, that's from memorization.
Well, you do that for 6-7 years. How many years those guys been doing that?
We're up to 10.
Well, 10. There's a swing and a tip foul held on to by Colt Morton, and quickly it's 1-2 to the Colonel first baseman, Chris Walston.
Before we get to that State Farm Major League scoreboard, Scott, you said after the Colonels erupted for 4 in the first inning, this game was not over.
Swing and a miss. Nasty breaking pitch that time. 2 straight strikeouts, 5 in a row retired by Jonathan Ellis. 2 out, bases empty here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
This afternoon at Yankee Stadium, it was New York mauling the Orioles 12-3. They're in the top of the 9th inning at Jacobs Field, and the Tigers on top of the Tribe 3-1.
There's a strike to Alexi Casilla. Has been a thorn in the side of Fort Wayne tonight. 2 for 3, a couple bunt singles and a run scored. Tribe are losing, huh?
3-1 at home.
Here's a foul ball up the first base line. Chased down the foul ground by Lachlan Dale.
The Blue Jays in Oakland are embroiled in the 7th inning at Skydome in a 5-5 ball game. The Red Sox are stomping the Rangers at the ballpark in Arlington 7-0. They're in the top of the 5th inning.
The 0-2 pitch to Casilla in the dirt. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Tampa Bay in the 6th inning on top of the White Sox 2-1 at Comiskey. At Kauffman Stadium, the Royals are trampling the Mariners 6-1 in the bottom of the 4th inning. And later tonight, the Twins play our parent club, the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, in California.
Irvin Santana on the mound tonight. The 1-2, a swing and a miss. Ball gets away momentarily from the catcher, Colt Morton, but he'll throw down the first for the 2-3 putout after 3 strikeouts, as Jonathan Ellis struck out the side here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Colonels go down 1-2-3, and John will be back with you for the call in the top of the 7th. Through 6 complete. Colonels 5, Fort Wayne 3, and You're listening to Colonel Baseball here in the Zone.
Your home is a powerful asset. Managed wisely, it can help you with home improvements, tuition, and other expenses. Wells Fargo Home Equity Financing is the key. With flexible terms, competitive rates, and affordable payments. Our bankers have the knowledge and resources to help you find the best financing for your needs. Talk with a Wells Fargo banker today and see how home equity financing can help you reach your next stage. Wells Fargo, the next stage, equal housing lender.
We've been telling you for some time that Greg's Lawn Service is a cut above the rest when it comes to caring for your lawn. However, Greg's experienced staff does so much more than lawn care. They offer complete landscape design and installation, concrete curb edging, grading, sodding, and hydro seeding. Yes, Greg's is a complete lawn care service, and they welcome the opportunity to show you why they are a cut above the rest. Give Greg's a call for more details about their wide range of services.
ESPN Classic.
Get the network that brings you the greatest sports in history.
From Namath to Koufax.
From McEnroe to Jordan.
The greatest heroes.
In their greatest games.
Plus, the Emmy and Peabody Award-winning Sports Century.
Revealing profiles inside the lives of legends.
And real classics.
Movies for sports fans every Sunday night.
No wonder the LA Times calls ESPN Classic the best channel on television.
To get ESPN Classic, call your local cable or satellite provider now.
Welcome back to Veterans Memorial Stadium. It's the sixth game of an 8-game homestand, and we're going into the top of the seventh inning. The Kernels have out-hit Fort Wayne 8-4, scored 4 in the bottom of the first off the starter, long since removed Joel Santo. But since then, the Wizards have played very good baseball, and they're down by a pair as Jesse Smith will bring it home to Lachlan Dale, the right-handed hitter from Australia, tied for second in the league with 12 homers, but only hitting .197. A curve is in for a strike. Those are numbers early in his career that Dave Kingman would have.
Oh, I was just thinking of King Kong Kingman. He was a fun guy.
He was different, I know that.
Right-hander warming up in the Colonel bullpen, John.
Let's see who that is. There's also a right-hander in Fort Wayne's bullpen, Jesse Smith's 1-1 pitch headed home to right-handed hitting Lachlan Dale. Swing and a miss. Jesse blew a fastball by him. It's Ronnie Ray in the Colonel right field bullpen. And let's see if we can get a number on that Wizard hurler down the left field line. It's a single digit, that's all I know. A ground ball wrapped to short. And Alexi Casilla vacuums it up, and the play was disjointed, Scott, as a bullpen ball rolled onto the field of play. That's the first time I've seen 2 balls on the field. Only one of them was live.
Yeah, and probably a break for the Colonels, because if that ball came on a split second earlier, it would have been a dead ball situation. Play would not have been allowed. We'll take the out.
Well, let's get back to the National League on the State Farm Major League scoreboard. Everything tonight, Scott.
Milwaukee leading Florida right now, 6-1. And you talked about Milwaukee trying to get above 500 for the first time since '92. They're 4 under right now.
Well, they're making a charge at it under the former Brave coach Ned Yost.
And they got some great young players coming.
Most of who played in this league, including Lyle Overbay, Ricky Weeks, and Prince Fielder. They all 3 played in this league. A bouncer to short. Casilla has it on the second hop, having to reach high, and his peg is right on the money to get Matt Bush, who singled his last time up. What a solid 6 2/3 so far from Jesse Smith. Following a 2-run homer by the number 8 hitter back in the 5th inning, Jesse is now set down 8 in a row.
The Washington Nationals at 50-32. Chad Cordero is in to try to nail it down against the Mets. They're shutting them out 3-0. Cordero blew first save in 25 chances against the Cubs over the weekend.
A terrific yellowhammer from Jesse Smith, strike one call. That Cordero is a first-year pro, isn't he, out of Cal State Fullerton?
Yep. Pittsburgh leading Philadelphia in the Battle of Pennsylvania. That's 3-0. And Atlanta beating the Cubs 5-1.
That's final? Beating.
Not
okay.
yet.
Okay.
They're in the 8th. And that one is, Cubs are now a game under. And Greg Maddux, first time Greg Maddux has been at Turner Field pitching.
Well, they should have a sellout crowd on that basis alone.
Well, they had the biggest crowd ever at the TED last night to see the Cubs and the Braves on the 4th of July. Houston and San Diego are in the 4th. They're tied at run apiece. Colorado and the Dodgers just underway, no score.
And an 0-2 pitch is a swing and a miss by Yordani Ramirez. He chased the pitch 6 inches above his eyebrows, and Jesse Smith has fanned his 4th of the night. Jesse Smith has now set down 9 straight Fort Wayne Wizards. 9 in a row retired by the Colonel starter, Jesse Smith. And Scott, what's later tonight in the National League? Is that it?
They got St. Louis at Arizona, and Cincinnati is at San Francisco tonight.
Well, thanks to State Farm Insurance agents Gary Schubat, Al Shetler, Dale Thompson, and Lanny Peterson for bringing us the State Farm Major League scoreboard. This Tuesday night crowd is up singing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game," 7th inning stretch, as we'll see another hurler on for Fort Wayne. After 6.5, the Colonels lead Fort Wayne 5-3. You're listening to Colonel Baseball in the Zone.
Kirby, the recycling mascot, wants you to take a bite out of landfill space by recycling cardboard. It's easy. Cardboard should be flattened, tied and bundled in 2-by-3-foot bundles, then placed next to the blue recycling box for curbside collection. Your friends at Solid Waste and Recycling want to thank Cedar Rapids residents for their continuing efforts to reduce waste and save landfill space.
It's Greeny and Golick.
My kids' favorite song in the world is the song YMCA. So I go to Barnes & Noble and I come across the Village People's Greatest Hits. Okay. So I walk up to pay. And so I'm standing there online.
Yeah.
And some guy comes up to me and says, "Hey, you're Greeny."
Uh-huh.
And he said, "Hey, what's up with Golick?" Whatever, chats, make it a little nice conversation. And he says to me, "What are you buying?"
Oh, no.
And all of a sudden, I realize what I'm buying.
What you have in your hands that you now have to show this guy.
So I pulled it up. It's the best of the Village People. The look on this guy's face was classic.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, my God. Everything they say about you is absolutely right. Gang, we've been trying to tell you. This ain't an act."
It's Mike and Mike in the morning on ESPN Radio.
In the bottom of the 7th inning, Nate Sutton greets the 3rd relief pitcher of the Wizards, and it's a right-hander, Ryan Klatt.
Ryan Klatt making his 7th appearance of the year. 0-1 record, a ERA of 3.00. 6 innings pitched, 7 hits, 2 earned runs, has not walked a batter, and has struck 7 in the league, hitting .280 against his 38th round draft choice in the 2003 draft out of West Texas.
Works from the stretch with nobody out, nobody on, and Nate Sutton lays off a pitch low and away. 2-1 to Nate. Nate was a huge part of the Colonel 4-run first inning, and the Colonels have not given up the lead since then, are on top 5-3. Sutton doubled in a run and scored. And a high pop foul. This one will be up into the red seats of the third base stands.
He pitched in the Midwest League last year, John. He was a Midwest League All-Star, if you recall. He was right here at the All-Star game, Ryan Klatt was.
The name does ring a bell now. He's out of Biola, a Christian school in California that produced Todd and Tim Worrell. A high pop foul behind third, down the left field line, and Matt Bush calls off Baudilio Figueroa. Matt Bush, the shortstop, has it. About 50 feet behind third on the grass in foul ground. And, boy, the Wizard bullpen has now given up just 1 or 2 runs in 5 1/3 innings. John Ellis out of the Citadel went 2 innings, gave the Colonels no runs on 1 hit, struck out 4, and walked none. The Wizard bullpen has been the reason Fort Wayne is hanging in there in the bottom of the 7th inning. Here's Freddy Sandoval. A backdoor curve from Ryan Klatt misses away, ball 1.
Well, the reason why Ryan Klatt was an All-Star last year and is still in the Midwest League is that back in June of 2004, he underwent Tommy John surgery.
Boy, that's becoming common, all too common. A fastball on the outside corner from the right-hander evens the count to the Colonel switch hitter, who leads the club with 45 runs driven in, including the RBI triple back in the first. Swinging a foul. That one whistles high up on the backstop, and it's 1-2 to Freddie. The Colonels added to their 4-1 lead with a run in the third inning, a Drew Toussaint home run, and a high drive into left center, way back, and it's going to be the center fielder, your Donnie Rodriguez, ranging far into left center. I don't know how Rodriguez got over there so quickly. He took an extra base hit away from Freddy Sandoval. 2 out in the Kernels' 7th inning.
He's a glider, John. He glides under baseball. Makes it look rather routine out there. Yeah, the Braves had their biggest crowd ever last night at Turner Field. And I'm sure they had a big crowd tonight to see Greg Maddux, and I'm sure they gave him a good ovation. It wasn't Greg Maddox's idea to leave Atlanta. It was kind of a mutual parting when he left.
Swing and a miss by Michael Collins, who had an RBI double and scored in the Kernel 4-run first. The only other run the Kernels have scored tonight came on a Drew Toussaint leadoff homer over the right field wall in the third inning, his team-high 11th of the year. Michael Collins is 2 for 3. The Kernels have out-hit Fort Wayne 8-4, and Collins is busted inside with a fastball, and he fists it foul over the backstop. Man, this Fort Wayne bullpen has been something tonight. Collins, with nobody on and 2 away, is in an 0-2 hole facing Ryan Klatt. Well, there are people who really kind of give it to Atlanta as not being a good sports town. And or a sports city. I've never been to Atlanta other than sitting in that airport that's one of the busiest in the country.
I get stuck in traffic on the Beltway.
The gateway to the south. But let's face it, with Bobby Cox leading the Braves to an unprecedented 13 titles in a row, I think winning has gotten old down there.
It has.
Sad to say, Scott. There are cities that would love that.
They can't sell out playoff games down there.
The 1-2 to Michael is a shot into left field. His third hit of the night. One hop in front of Chris Colt. Of course, Michael Collins will likely be hitting about .344 tomorrow before the game starts. All we need is a few more at-bats, Scott, and you know this is going to sound crazy. We've had the last 2 batting titleists in the Midwest League, Alberto Callaspo 2 seasons ago, Howie Kendrick last year, and if Michael Collins continues this pace, he may be in the running for a batting title.
Well, he's swinging the bat so very well right now.
Let's see if Drew Toussaint can continue this Kernel 7th inning. Klatt delivers a fastball at the knees for strike 1. It's 5-3 Kernels. Michael Collins has 3 of the Kernel 9 hits.
Well, right now, when Michael gets enough at-bats, .347, that's Eric Patterson, Corey's little brother, is leading the league out of Peoria.
That's not insurmountable.
Oh, no.
Collins is running. A swing and a miss to throw to second, and Michael steals it. 0-2 to Drew Toussaint as he protected Collins, and Michael has stolen his 5th base of the season. The Kernels lead the league in stolen bases. 2 tonight, 1 for Casilla, 1 for Collins. 1 man caught stealing earlier this evening, Nate Sutton. And the Kernels now have stolen 106 bases in 82 games to lead the Midwest League.
Boy, Bobby'd love to get that run home, get a little insurance.
Oh, it's huge. Can Toussaint battle out of an 0-2 hole? A curve, ground ball right side, underneath the second baseman's glove. Here comes Michael Collins, and the Kernels pick up a huge run on a base hit that trickled underneath the second baseman Sean Kazmar's glove. Collins scores. It's the second RBI of the game for Drew Toussaint, and it's 6-3 Kernels. Scott, you wished for it. We pointed out its importance, and Toussaint delivered it.
Tough play by the second baseman, Sean Kazmar. It was going to be a bang-bang play, I think, John, at first base, even if he comes up with that ball with Drew Toussaint's speed.
But Collins would have likely stopped at third.
Oh, definitely.
Kazmar went far to his left and just couldn't keep it from sneaking under his glove. And isn't it great to see Drew Toussaint going the other way now with authority?
Twice. The home run was to right field, and now that RBI single to right, a couple of RBIs, 36 now for Drew Toussaint.
This ball club is really doing a lot of things right. And it's been a joy to watch them on this homestand. Swing and a miss by Madrigal. Warner is 0 for 3 tonight. 6-3 Kernels. We've out-hit Fort Wayne 10-4. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning. A high pop foul is going towards the Papa John's Plaza. It's being chased by the Australian Lachlan Dale, and it plops down into the third row of the aluminum-backed bleachers down the right field line.
Well, Steve Drew's going to be running here. 4-run lead's better than a 3-run lead, right?
Always. Joel Santo is Ryan Klatt is part of a Fort Wayne pitching staff that's ranked third best in the league with an ERA of 4.00, 4 even. 3 teams in the Midwest League have a team ERA of under 4. Or 2. Fort Wayne is third with 4.00. Ryan Klatt, the right-hander, leans in and gets his sign from Colt Morton. Warner Madrigal's in the hole, 0-2. Toussaint came through on an 0-2 pitch. Ooh, a fastball over but low, apparently, according to Jeff Lascola, the plate umpire. Klatt wanted the call but didn't get it.
Yeah, he really wanted that call. And tell you the honest truth, pretty good pitch.
Huge gap in left center as Yordani Rodriguez is playing Madrigal way into right center. The runner goes, and a ball lifted in the air to shallow center. Yordani Rodriguez trots in and puts it away to end the Colonel's 7th inning. Madrigal skies to center, but the Colonels strike with a run with 2 out. Remember, Collins, with his 3rd hit of the night, stole second, and on an 0-2 pitch, Drew Toussaint slapped one through the right side to drive home Michael. 1 run in the 7th for the Colonels on 2 base hits. There were no Fort Wayne errors, and the Colonels leave a runner aboard. We've stranded 6 on the night. After 7, Jesse Smith will go back to the hill, and the Colonels lead Fort Wayne 6-3. You're listening to Colonel Baseball in the Zone.
A new school year means the chase is on. What school will be the best? The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM, Farm Bureau Financial Services Metro Sports Trophy winner. It's simple. The school that rules brings home the hardware. Your school earns points by being the best in all 19 sports programs. Boys and girls, fall, winter, and spring. The school with the winningest programs takes home the coveted Zone Metro Sports Trophy and $500 from Farm Bureau Financial Services. Every sport counts towards each school's total points, and citywide bragging rights are on the line. We'll post the standings quarterly at the worldwide headquarters of the Zone, thezone1600.com. Current stats show Linmar leading the boys contest and Marion holds the top spot in the girls column. Who will come out on top? Kennedy, Jefferson, Linmar, Marion, Prairie, Washington, or Xavier. The Zone Farm Bureau Financial Services Metro Sports Trophy. Only from the home of high school sports. The Zone. The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM.
In an interview that can only be described as intriguing, stimulating, and downright impressive, former Major Leaguer Mickey Rivers interviews heavyweight boxer Kevin McBride.
Well, it's going to be a land show, you just want to get something like that. I know it ain't going to go no 10 rounds in a different zone.
Now that, my friend, was deep. Learn more weekdays on the Dan Patrick Show on ESPN Radio.
We're approaching the top of the hour, and Jesse Smith has pitched very well through 7 innings. He's retired the last 9 Wizards in a row. Their last hit was a 2-run homer in the 5th that made it 5-3 Colonels. It's 6-3 Colonels as Baudilio Figueroa bats against the Colonel right-hander Jesse Smith. Action in both bullpens. Ronnie Ray continues to throw in the Colonel right field bullpen, and the Midwest League leader in saves, Matt Varner, with 23, is warming up in the in the Fort Wayne left field pen.
For how long it's been since Varner's pitched?
A strike is in to Baudilio Figueroa. Scott, it may be in Mike Maz's notes. He has some good information in there, and boy, you're right, though. Closers thrive on work, don't they?
Yep.
A curve drops in for a strike. We're going to ask Tony Regans tomorrow on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show about a former Colonel closer, Joel Peyrata, who is pitching well for the Angels. The 0-2. Swing and a miss on a curve low and away, and Baudilio Figueroa, a .244 batsman in 27 games, is fanned, and that 10 in a row retired by Jesse Smith. 10 straight, and Jesse is now racked up his 5th strikeout of the evening.
Yeah, it's been 5 days, and this will be the 6th day since Varner's pitched. So
that's a long time.
Yeah, you got to get your closer some opportunities.
Speaking of closers, Scott, Tony La Russa and Dave Duncan had Dustin Hermanson a couple of years ago in St. Louis. The Cardinals love veterans, and it seems to me that Dustin Hermanson has been one of many great surprises for your White Sox.
Oh, yeah, and it was just an all-out shame that he was not picked to the All-Star game. It just really was. But you can't take everybody.
Yeah, we talked about that this afternoon on the 19th hole. It boils down to that, doesn't it?
Yeah, and you get so many relief pitchers, and Hermanson is not had. White Sox have split up the saves, and that hurt him.
Top of the eighth, a 2-0 pitch is high from Jesse Smith to the leadoff batter, Chris Colkhorst. He singled and scored an unearned run in the first. Since then, he's lined to center and grounded to second. Let's see if Jesse can come back and get the left-handed batter out of Rice University, Chris Colkhorst. Strike one at the knees. Speaking of closers, our Colonel did-you-know question. Former Cedar Rapids Red Trevor Hoffman, now third on the all-time save list. We'll pose our did-you-know question about Trevor here in a moment. Colkhorst ready for the 3-1, and it's strike two called, a fastball from Jesse. Did you know that when Trevor Hoffman enters a game at Petco Park, they play an entrance song for him? It's AC/DC's Hell's Bells. I've never heard of that song, Scott. Have you?
I've heard it.
Okay.
Many times.
A 3-2 pitch is slapped into the screen foul. They started doing it at Jack Murphy Stadium in 1998. The idea was both Trevor's and the Padres' entertainment department in 1998, and it was used to inspire Trevor Hoffman. So whenever he comes in to attempt to wrap up a Padre victory, you hear AC/DC's Hell's Bells. Swap shot, drive to third, and it's caught by Freddy Sandoval. Freddy had Colkhorst positioned perfectly, Scott, 20 feet off the third base line.
Absolutely did not have to move an eyelash, really.
And that is now 11 straight set down by Colonel starter Jesse Smith. How old a rock group is AC/DC?
Oh, gosh, AC/DC was around in the 80s.
I wonder if that song Hell's Bells fits Trevor's personality.
No, it's about the exact opposite of Trevor Hoffman. Who's about the nicest guy you've ever want to meet.
Okay. A curve is a strike to Matt Thayer, who was 3 for 4 yesterday. Tonight he's 0 for 3, but he lined out to second his last time. A curve and a swing and a miss. Jesse Smith is ahead of the number 2 hitter Thayer, 0-2. Jesse Smith has retired 11 straight Fort Wayne hitters. 11 in a row. The 0-2 to try to make it 12 straight. In the dirt, ball one.
Trevor pitched here in Cedar Rapids, of course. He will come back to be our speaker one year in the hot stove banquet. Might be when he's out of baseball, but we'll see.
That's what Jack Rader can't wait. And in fact, Jack hopes he comes back as the Major League's all-time leader in saves, and that's not out of the realm of possibility, Scott. He's within distance of Lee Smith. The 1-2 to the right-handed batter is knuckled in the air to the right side. Can anybody get there? Chris Walston does! Walston came racing in from first towards the Colonel first base dugout. Jesse Smith and Michael Collins were pinching in on it as well, and Matt Thayer has fouled out to Chris Walston to end the Fort Wayne 8th inning, and that is now 12 straight, retired by 24-year-old Colonel right-hander out of Lincoln, Nebraska, Jesse Smith. 12 in a row for Jesse Smith. Down in order go the Wizards in the top of the 8th inning, and after 7.5, the Colonels are trying to win for their 5th time in 6 games on this homestand. They own a 6-3 lead over the Wizards. This is Colonel Baseball in the Zone.
I'm Dave Shea. For 35 years, I was news anchor for Channel 2. Now, with gas prices at $2 a gallon, check out Randy Kill Honda and save with great fuel mileage on all Hondas in stock. The safest family sedan, the Honda Accord, will definitely save the family pocketbook with 34 miles to the gallon. Get even better mileage with a compact Civic, getting you there at 38 miles to the gallon. Or check the amazing fuel mileage of the Honda Civic Hybrid, 48 miles to the gallon, and that's in city driving. Randy Kill Honda has a large selection of pre-owned Hondas, too, all with exceptional fuel mileage. Check them out at www.randykill.com. Also, Randy Keel offers a 7-year, 100,000-mile confidence guarantee on new vehicles. You can take my word for it, but you may also want to talk with other Honda owners. They're people you know, your friends, your neighbors, maybe even your relatives. I'm saving on gas prices by driving my Honda, and you can too. See Randy Keel Honda on Center Point Road, Northeast.
Knowing who you are is important. At Kirkwood Community College, we know who we are. We are accessibility. We are quality. We are opportunity. We are community. Who are you? We can help you learn. Kirkwood.edu.
Here we go to the bottom of the 8th, and Scott, we think that the Colonel Director of Entertainment, Andy Pantini, may have played Trevor Hoffman's theme song, AC/DC's Hell's Bells, with Matt Varner taking over. He is the leading save man, and perhaps Andy either heard us talking about it, and I'd never heard the song, or perhaps as a...
Oh, you're an old headbanger, John.
Oh, yeah, right. That's exactly my personality. LeBlanc slaps Matt Varner's pitch foul. Perhaps as a tribute to former Cedar Rapids Red Trevor Hoffman, Andy Pantini found that clip of Trevor's entrance song.
Yeah, how about that? We're Johnny on the spot here at the ballpark.
Andy sure is.
Andy is.
Brother, he doesn't miss a beat. A swing and a miss by LeBlanc, and it's 1-2. Matt Varner does lead the league in saves.
Yeah, and he's tough. Varner, Klatt went 1 inning, by the way, 2 hits, 1 run. It was earned. We'll give you Varner's line in a moment. There is that. The 1-2 to Josh LeBlanc, who's 0 for 2, and a changeup, a swing and a miss. That's Trevor Hoffman's bread and butter pitch, a changeup, and Matt Varner made it look easy, striking out Josh LeBlanc. 1 away in the bottom of the 8th inning. It's a Colonel 6-3 lead, and the Colonels have out hit Fort Wayne 10-4. That was nasty. 1-3 for Varner with a 3.49 ERA, making his 30th appearance, 23 saves.
A high drive to right by Renz, way back at the wall, it may go! Yes, home run! Jordan Renz belts his 5th of the year over the right field wall, and it gives the Colonels a 7-3 lead here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Well, John, if it comes in quick, it goes out quick. If you can get the bat on it.
And that's the second Colonel home run of the night. The Colonels have 65 home runs now in 82 games. The ball club is 3rd in the league in the long ball. And Jordan Renz took it the other way. And Matt Varner has given up a home run, the 5th of the year, to Jordan Renz. And it's 7-3 Colonels here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
That's why you want to get your closers in there about every 2 days or so. Keep them sharp.
You have to. Walston fouls one straight back. Now Chris takes a big cut and misses. Strike 2. We want to thank RFK Transportation. I got a very humbling, kind call from Corey Kazmar of RFK Transportation earlier this morning, and she was just delighted with the monies raised from the auction of the patriotic jerseys sponsored by RFK Transportation. She did ask me to check with Julia Jansen, our broadcast assistant, to see if we could find out the final total raised in the next day or two. Corey thought it might have been between $3,500 and $4,000 for the Veterans Memorial. Swing and a miss by Chris Walston. Second strikeout of the inning for Matt Varner, the league's premier closer. 2 away in the Colonel 8th inning. It's 7-3 Colonels, and the batter is Alexi Casilla. Scott, I have a hunch that Ronnie Ray is going to come on to work the 9th inning, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, we'll see, because now Francisco Cordova is starting to loosen up. And 4-run lead, of course, non-save situation.
And certainly not an insurmountable lead for the Wizards, who are really struggling in the second half to overcome. Yes, Scott, you mentioned earlier the parallel between last year's Colonel first half, the Colonels winning the first half in the Western Division, and then we had all the pageantry and energy of the All-Star game, and our guys came back, and they were just flat out
flat.
Yeah, for 2 weeks. They just didn't have anything in the way of mental sharpness or much physical energy to go with it. The 2-0 to Alexi is high and in for ball 3. Alexi got it all started for the Kernels in the 4-run first inning with a bunt single. He stole second, advanced to third on a throwing error by the catcher Colt Morton, and scored on a Nate Sutton double. It's 7-3 Kernels, and we're in the bottom of the 8th inning. Strike one at the knees from Warner to Casilla.
Cordova, when was the last time he worked, John?
He worked for the first time in the second half, and I'll tell you when in just one moment. The 3-1 to Casilla is slapped to the right side. The second baseman pedaling back into shallow right. Sean Kazmar throws in time to get Alexi Casilla and end the 8th inning. The Kernels strike for a run on the Jordan Wren's homer, his 5th of the year. 1 run on 1 hit. There were no wizard errors. The Kernels leave the bases empty and have left 6 aboard on the evening. The last time Francisco Cordova worked, his only time in the second half, was on Sunday here at home, Sunday afternoon.
Now they're going to let Jesse try to finish what he started.
Boy, wouldn't that be something?
I like that.
He's on a string of having retired 12 straight. We go to the top of the 9th inning. The Kernels are trying to make it a 5-1 homestand. They lead Fort Wayne 7-3. You're tuned to Kernel Baseball here in the Zone.
Traveling today can be somewhat hectic, even downright confusing at times. Why not let Tri-State Travel take all that frustration out of your travel plans? Whether you want to experience a cruise, enjoy a weekend getaway in Las Vegas, or just need to make airline, rental car, or hotel reservations, Tri-State Travel's Westdale Mall office can help. Our experienced staff can lower your travel stress level so you can get more enjoyment out of your journey. Stop by Tri-State Travel's Westdale Mall office today and get ready to travel worry-free.
Are you ready for a little racing? The Zone, ESPN Radio 1600 AM and Hawkeye Downs want to help you take the family to the races without blowing out your wallet. The last Friday of every month is now the Zone 1600 Family Night. Just click on the zone1600.com and print the special Family Night coupon. Take it to Hawkeye Downs the last Friday of the month, and 2 adults and the kids get in for just $16. 16 simoleons to see the hottest racing in town? That's freaking unbelievable. Get your valuable coupon today at the worldwide headquarters of the Zone, thezone1600.com. And we'll see you at the Zone 1600 Family Night at Hawkeye Downs, the last Friday of every month, all summer long.
Hawkeye Downs Racing.
Another killer deal from your home of Hawkeye Downs Racing on the radio. The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM.
Jesse Smith is going to try to go the distance as we go to the top of the 9th inning. He's retired 12 in a row. And a strike is in to Matt Lauderdale. Jesse Smith, with his red knit batting practice top drenched in perspiration, gets ahead of Lauderdale, the DH. A curve, and it's lifted into straightaway center. This should be 13 in a row as Josh LeBlanc has it in center. 13 in a row for Jesse Smith. He wants to finish this thing in a flurry.
Well, I applaud this decision by Kernan Ronan and by Bobby there, John, because, you know, it's a situation where we've lost the lead so many times, and nothing against the bullpen. They've performed well as of late, but unless Jesse Smith's out there facing a serious high pitch count and he says he can't go, let him go out there, try to at least get through the 9th inning.
He pumps in a strike to Colt Morton. We forgot to mention, Scott, Jesse's facing the heart of the Fort Wayne order. That is not easy. The 0-1 to the cleanup batter. A high pop foul. There will be a play for Chris Walston on the grass next to first base. He has it. 14 in a row. 14 straight for Jesse Smith, the Colonel right-hander. Colonels lead 7-3. Top of the 9th inning. Good news. I was a little high on our estimate of funds raised through the auction of the RFK Transportation patriotic jerseys, but we raised approximately $2,000. You Colonel fans did. We'll know more in the next day or two. The Freddy Sandoval patriotic jersey, signed by the whole team, Ralph Palmer kindly auctioned it off, and it went for $425.
Great.
Ball one outside to Sean Kazmar. Jesse fires a strike. Jesse Smith is trying to join Fernando Rodriguez Jr. as the only Colonel to go the distance this season. Jesse's even on the count to Kazmar, who's 0 for 3. The 1-1 from Smith. A let-up, pounded fair past third. It's the first hit for the Wizards since the 2-run homer back in the 5th inning. The runner streaks to second and just beats the throw by Drew Toussaint. So Jesse Smith's streak of 14 in a row is shattered by Sean Kazmar as he rolled one fair between the bag and Freddy Sandoval. Scott, had this been a 1-run game, Freddy would have had that because he would have been guarding the line.
Yeah, that's right. But still, nothing hurt. That run's not going to change the outcome of the ball game. 2 out, bottom of the 9th, and they're going to try to let him finish it.
The Colonel Pep squad has assembled behind home plate with red thundersticks, and Michael Collins now takes a trip out to the hill. Jesse Smith's brother Brad tunes in faithfully to every inning of every Colonel ball game, not just Jesse's starts, but every inning of every game. Brad Smith is on the edge of his seat in Omaha, Nebraska, listening on the internet. Or in Lincoln, Nebraska, excuse me.
Home of the Big Red.
Smith comes set at the belt. The first pitch is low to right-handed hitter Lachlan Dale, who's grounded out 3 times. It's 7-3 Colonels. We're in the top of the 9th inning, and Jesse Smith trying to get that last tough out of the evening.
I think this might be the last guy he faces.
Strike one called at the knees.
Good or bad here, I think this might be it.
Francisco Cordova is ready to come in if needed here in the 9th inning. Jesse gave up a 2-run homer back in the 5th inning, and the Wizards went 14 batters without reaching until Sean Kazmar rolled a double past third. He's at second with 2 out as that Pep squad continues to generate noise down below before a crowd of 2,700 plus. Exactly, Scott, 2,764. Great Tuesday night crowd.
And a great curveball right there by Jesse Smith. Cordova's ready. Just watching in the bullpen, see if Jesse can get this last strike.
Smith comes set at the belt. The 1-2 delivery in the dirt, a changeup. Lachlan Dale took it for ball 2. And a good stop by Michael Collins to prevent the runner at second, Kazmar, from dashing to third. We're in the top of the 9th inning. Fort Wayne has a runner at second with 2 out, and the Colonels lead it 7-3.
See if he comes with the curve right here. He's had a very good, tight curve.
Smith is set and brings it. Ball 3 outside, and as Scott said, if Lachlan Dale reaches, the Colonels will probably have to lift Jesse Smith. He looks like he's just about out of gas here in the 9th inning. But he's fighting valiantly to try to get the last out and earn the win in a complete game fashion. Here's the payoff pitch. A high fly ball slicing foul into the Papa John's Plaza down the right field line. Boy, Jesse wants it. You can tell as he rubs up that new baseball, Scott. He really wants to throw a strike here.
Yes, he does. And he's going to come with his best pitch right here.
Jesse huffs and takes a big, deep breath. Peers in and has his sign from Michael Collins. Lachlan Dale is ready for the payoff offering. Swing and a miss! Swing and a miss! Jesse Smith goes the distance and leads the Colonels to their 5th win in 6 games on the homestand. Jesse gets a big, big bear hug from Freddy Sandoval, and Jesse Smith is as happy as can be. He's one of the hardest workers on the pitching staff. He reads books about pitching. He studies his craft. He tries to get better between every start. And Scott, what a delightful moment for Jesse to share with his Colonel teammates.
Oh, and he had the biggest smile on his face when he came off of there. They showed it on the big screen. And when Michael Collins came out and Freddy Sandoval came over from third base, absolutely wonderful right there.
Jesse Smith goes the distance and leads the Colonels to a 7-3 victory over the Wizards. No runs for Fort Wayne in the 9th, 1 hit, a 2-out double. There were no Colonel errors. The Wizards leave 1 man aboard. They only stranded 3. in a Kernels 7-3 win this evening. Scott and I will be back with the totals, highlights, and more in just a moment. This is Kernel Baseball in the Zone.
Who's that cool cooking man? King of the grill, who's your patio? Charbroiled sausage flipping man with the buns, who's your patio?
Your makeup limits comes number one for taste and fun.
Econo Foods is the place to save on Clements Fine products this week. Shop Econo Foods for hot pricing on Clements.
A new school year means the chase is on. What school will be the best? The Zone ESPN Radio 1600 AM Farm Bureau Financial Services Metro Sports Trophy winner. It's simple. The school that rules brings home the hardware. Your school earns points by being the best in all 19 sports programs. Boys and girls, fall, winter, and spring. The school with the winningest programs takes home the coveted Zone Metro Sports Trophy and $500 from Farm Bureau Financial Services. Every sport counts towards each school's total points, and citywide bragging rights are on the line. We'll post the standings quarterly at the worldwide headquarters of the Zone, thezone1600.com. Current stats show Linmar leading the boys contest and Marion holds the top spot in the girls column. Who will come out on top? Kennedy, Jefferson, Linmar, Marion, Prairie, Washington, or Xavier. The Zone Farm Bureau Financial Services Metro Sports Trophy. Only from the home of high school sports. The Zone. The Zone, ESPN Radio 1600 AM. Are you ready for a little racing? The Zone ESPN Radio 1600 AM and Hawkeye Downs want to help you take the family to the races without blowing out your wallet. The last Friday of every month is now the Zone 1600 Family Night. Just click on the Zone1600.com and print the special Family Night coupon. Take it to Hawkeye Downs the last Friday of the month, and 2 adults and the kids get in for just $16. 16 simoleons to see the hottest racing in town? That's freaking unbelievable. Get your valuable coupon today at the worldwide headquarters of the Zone, thezone1600.com. And we'll see you at the Zone 1600 Family Night at Hawkeye Downs, the last Friday of every month, all summer long.
Hawkeye Downs Racing.
Another killer deal from your home of Hawkeye Downs Racing on the radio. The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM. It's time for the Colonel's Curtain Call, right here on the Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM. With a recap of all the action, the State Farm Major League scoreboard, plus a look ahead to the next Colonels game, let's rejoin the voice of the Colonels, the one, the only John Rogers, here on the Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM.
Welcome back to the Colonel Curtain Call here in the Zone. The Colonels behind Jesse Smith, and Scott Unash will have some great news brought to us by Colonel Director of Media Relations Todd Brummelkamp in just a moment. The Colonels whipped Fort Wayne 7-3, and the Colonels are now 5-1 on the homestand. And Scott, I'll tell you what, a game that just took 2 hours and 16 minutes, but when it first got underway, it looked like we might be here for a 3+ hour marathon.
Oh, absolutely, because the first inning was full of offense and also full of not very good defense, to be quite honest with you. It was a 1-0 lead right out of the chute for the Fort Wayne Wizards. Their leadoff man, Chris Colcourse, with a single to right field after a Matt Thayer lineout. Colcourse went, let's start over. Colcourse is a single to right. Thayer then line to right. Colcourse was off at the pitch. He tried to come back to first, and the throw from right fielder Warner Madrigal not only got by first baseman Chris Walson, but he also got by the catcher Collins and the pitcher Jesse Smith backing up. And that sent the runner all the way over to third base, and he scored on a Matt Lauderdale single to make it 1-0. But then the Colonels took advantage of some sloppy defense by Fort Wayne in the bottom of the first inning. Alexi Casilla with a bunt single to get things underway. He stole second and then went to third on the bad throw. Came home on a Nate Sutton RBI double off the right center field wall. That tied things up at 1. Then Freddy Sandoval got in the act with an RBI triple to right center field, his 45th RBI that gave the Colonels a 2-1 lead that they would never surrender. Michael Collins then came through with an RBI double down the left field line, and at that point it was 3-1. And then the Colonels got their fourth run on an error by the third baseman, Baudilio Figueroa. He dropped a throw from the shortstop, Matt Bush. They had the runner, Michael Collins, picked off at third, or actually they had him caught between second and third, but he missed the tag. Ball got away, and that allowed the fourth run to score, and the Kernels led it 4-1 at that point. Got another run in the bottom of the third inning on a solo home run, 11th of the year, team-leading 11th of the year by Drew Toussaint. Fort Wayne got a couple steps closer. That in the top of the fifth inning on a Yardani Ramirez two-run line drive home run to left to make it 5-3. But then the Kernels put it away with a couple more runs, some insurance, as the Kernels got their sixth run with 2 outs in the bottom of the seventh inning. A Michael Collins single to left. He stole second base, and then Drew Toussaint coming through again with an RBI single just underneath the outstretched glove of second baseman Sean Kazmar. And that made it 6-3. And then Jordan Renz with a solo shot to cap off the scoring in the bottom of the eighth inning, his fifth of the year. And that puts Cedar Rapids down in front to stay 7-3. The other big story tonight, John, besides good clutch hitting, Michael Collins had 3 hits. Jesse Smith was absolutely outstanding tonight. 9 innings. He gave up only 5 hits, struck out 6, did not walk a batter, gave up 3 runs, only 2 earned. And the big thing, not walking anyone. Absolutely wonderful game by Jesse. It is the first Kernel 9-inning complete game of the year. The other complete game we had was a 7-inning game, I believe.
Well, Fernando Rodriguez had a 7-inning complete game. He had a rain-shortened complete game. And I'm trying to see the only other complete game. Michelle Samar, a 7-inning complete game. So Samar, a 7-inning complete game. Fernando Rodriguez Jr., a 7-inning complete game, and a rain-stopped complete game. But Jesse went all 9, and he deserved his 4th win of the season. Here's the final line score. The Kernels 7 runs, 11 hits, 2 errors. We left 6. The Wizards, who are now 2-11 in the second half, 3 runs, 5 hits, 2 errors. They stranded 3. Winning pitcher Jesse Smith, he's 4-5. He goes the distance. As Scott said, thanks to Todd Brummelkamp, our Director of Media Relations, the first Kernel hurler this season to go 9 innings complete. The loser was Joel Santo, who lasted just 1 inning. He sinks to 2-6. The game was played in a brisk 2 hours and 16 minutes before a PMX Industries night crowd of 2,764. Stand by. We'll have our Access Direct play of the game in a moment, and then Scott will follow that. Scott or Julia, we'll let them decide that. Will bring us the State Farm Major League scoreboard. 7-3 Kernels. Up next, the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show right here in the zone.
The Cedar Rapids Kernels want to give your child a chance to hit a home run. By picking up a free reading scorecard at the Kernel Stadium gift shop, kids can keep track of their minutes and earn great rewards. Along with Toyota Financial Services and the Gazette, the Kernels encourage you to open the world to your children by reading with them. If your kids hit a home run this summer by reading 1,000 minutes, the Kernels will recognize their accomplishments on the field at Reader Recognition Day in August.
I cannot see anyone but me. Baby, can't you see I know what's right for me? Don't tell me wrong from right. I know just what I like. Yeah, call me crazy, I don't care. Come feel the joy all around each generation. They've got their own kind of sound. Come to shout it out. With that Toya Pepsi.
Second segment of the Colonel Curtin Call, and we're proud to bring you, Access Direct is proud to bring you the Access Direct play of the game. Access Direct is looking for team players. They'd like to hire you. And if the match or fit is right, take the first step by calling Access Direct at 261-0260, 261-0260, or you can visit them online. Their website, their homepage is www.accdir.com. Why consider Access Direct to start your work life or to make a career switch? Well, they have full and part-time schedules. They offer an $8.50 hourly starting wage. The benefits are outstanding. Medical, dental, vision insurance, and a 401k savings plan. Don't have to worry about reaching into your wallet to buy a fancy new wardrobe, the casual dress code rules the day at Access Direct. It's a fun, friendly place to work, and they are hiring right now. Jesse Smith had retired 14 in a row when Sean Kazmar doubled with 2 out in the 9th inning. The Kernels led it 7-3. Jesse was trying to become the first Kernel pitcher to go the distance in a 9-inning game, and he faced Lachlan Dale. The count was full. Let's pick the action up there for our Access Direct play of the game.
Jesse huffs and takes a big, deep breath. Peers in and has his sign from Michael Collins. Lachlan Dale is ready for the payoff offering. Swing and a miss! Swing and a miss! Jesse Smith goes the distance. He leads the Kernels to their 5th win in 6 games on the homestand. Jesse gets a big, big bear hug from Freddy Sandoval, and Jesse Smith is as happy as can be. He's one of the hardest workers on the pitching staff. He reads books about pitching. He studies his craft. He tries to get better between every start. And, Scott, what a delightful moment for Jesse to share with his Colonel teammates. Oh, and he had the biggest smile on his face.
Yes, he did. Scott reported the smile. Jesse Smith recorded the first 9-inning complete game win for the Kernels, 7-3 over the Wizards. That's our Access Direct play of the game. Up next, Scott will have a complete look at the state... Wait a minute. No, Julia will have a complete look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard. I'll make that executive decision. We'll say thanks to Scott in a moment. Back on the Colonel Curtain Call, this is Colonel Baseball in the Zone.
1-hour photos, speed dating, DSL for your computer. Everyone's in a hurry these days. Your professional Pekin insurance agent, Scott Draper of Sheets Forest Draper and Marion, doesn't hurry when it comes to helping you with your insurance needs. Scott will gladly sit down with you and outline a solid insurance program just right for you and your budget. Out-of-home, business, life, and health. Scott Draper, your hometown Pekin insurance professional in Marion, will give you the responsive, personal, unhurried service you deserve.
There's a reason Dick Ramsey is the #1 home seller for the #1 real estate company, Skolman Realty. It's because Dick Ramsey works harder for you than anyone to make selling your home easy for you. Take Dick's one-of-a-kind home trade program. Buy one of Dick Ramsey's homes and Dick will buy yours. Dick Ramsey provides 2 other unparalleled services, a free 1-hour telephone loan approval and a free 1-hour telephone appraisal on your property. Dick Ramsey of Skolman Realty, the #1 home seller for the #1 real estate company.
Well, before broadcast assistant Julia Jansen rejoins us for the State Farm Major League scoreboard, it was our pleasure to welcome back Scott Unash to the broadcast this evening. And, Scott, I want to get some final thoughts from you. First, about this 8-game homestand. The Kernels are now 6-1. We play here tomorrow night. And then Thursday is a special day.
Thursday, special day, noon game. And we haven't had one for a while, it seems like, as we'll take on the Fort Wayne Wizards on getaway day. And hamburgers and cheeseburgers are going to be $2. Cheese is free on Thursday, so you might as well get cheese in your burger.
Noon start on Thursday. Tomorrow evening, we'll have the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show at 6:40. We'll be hooking up with Tony Regans, the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim farm director, who has to be very pleased with what he's seen here on the homestand. The Kernels now are 8-5. We'll wake up tomorrow morning in sole possession of second place, breathing down the necks of division-leading Quad City. And, Scott, we've gotten things headed in the right direction at home, and we needed to because we started the second half of the season with, 8 plus 4, 12 of our first 15 games in the second half at home. We needed to make some hay.
Yeah, we had to because it's going to equal out here by the time things close up shop in late August, early September. So you got to get off to a good start at home. Now the trick is to keep the momentum, not only for the last 2 games of this homestand, but then to take it out on the road because it's not a long road trip coming up, but then they will be by the time the end of July and especially in August comes around.
Scott, thank you so much. It's really a joy to get to work with you, and we look forward to the next opportunity.
Well, thank you very much, John, and we'll look forward to it.
Thanks to Scott Unash. Scott's going to hand over the baton to Julia Jansen, Colonel Broadcast Assistant, and thanks to State Farm Insurance agents Dale Thompson, Al Shetler, Lanny Peterson and Gary Schubat will take a look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard. Remember, tomorrow evening, 6:40, South Slope Communications Triple Play Showtime, and one of the most remarkable men in academia, Dr. Lomax, will be joining us. He's a specialist in sports studies and it's cultural study of sports and society. Dr. Lomax will be on the air with us as Bob Brooks shares some of his time with the Fort Wayne broadcaster Mike Maas, and we'll look forward to having Dr. Lomax with us not only during the broadcast, but also on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show the following night, Wednesday night. No, check that. We'll have Dr. Lomax with us Thursday before the noon game, and then he'll be with us in Davenport for the series opener against the Swing of the Quad City. Well, Julia Jansen, this was a fun evening. You got to call a Drew Toussaint home run back in the third inning, and I think you borrowed a phrase from Harry Carey.
Holy cow, I did. That kind of slipped out, and afterwards I was like, whoops, I sound like Harry Carey.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. It was a great call, Julia. Let's see what's shaking on that State Farm Major League scoreboard.
All right, in the American League first at Yankee Stadium, the Yankees stomped Baltimore 12-3. Down at Jacobs Field, Detroit edged Cleveland 3-2. In Toronto, Oakland and the Toronto and Oakland are tied at 7.
Yes.
They are in extra innings, and they're in the 10th right now. And in progress at Ameriquest Field, Boston is on top of Texas 7-4. At U.S. Cellular Field, Tampa Bay has a slim lead over the Chicago White Sox 4-3. Down at Kauffman Stadium, the Kansas City Royals are topping Seattle 8-5. And just underway now at Angel Stadium, the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim have fallen to Minnesota. They already are behind by 1, but they're still in the first inning. Angels have not batted yet.
Julia, let's go back for just a moment with that White Sox ball club. They're trailing at Comiskey Park in 4-3 to Tampa Bay. What inning is that one in?
They're in the bottom of the 8th.
Okay.
Then over in the National League at Dolphin Stadium, Milwaukee clipped Florida 6-4. At RFK Stadium, Washington trimmed the New York Mets 3-2. The Pirates beat Philadelphia 3-0. And Chicago Cubs and Atlanta are delayed at Turner Field. Atlanta is leading 5-1. They're in the 8th inning. They're delayed for rain. Now in progress in the 7th inning, Houston is pounding San Diego 6-1. Over at Coors Field, Colorado is jumped ahead of the Dodgers 3-0. They're in the bottom of the 4th. And at Bank One Ballpark in Arizona, the St. Louis Cardinals are on top of Arizona 2-0. They're in the bottom of the 3rd. And finally at SBC Field, Cincinnati and San Francisco are underway in the 1st. No score there.
Well, thank you, Julia Jansen, for giving us the State Farm Major League scoreboard. It's brought to us by State Farm Insurance agents Al Shetler, Lanny Peterson, Gary Schubat, and Dale Thompson. The Kernels behind the first 9-inning complete game of the season. It was from Jesse Smith, who ups his record to 4-5, whipped the Wizards 7-3, and have now won 5 of 6 on the 8-game homestand. Remember, Bob will spend part of tomorrow evening with Mike Maas, enlightening the listeners in Fort Wayne, Indiana. We'll have Dr. Lomax here, a renowned sports sociologist of sorts from the University of Iowa. And Julia, what is Dr. Lomax's first name? Dr. Michael Lomax?
That's right.
And we'll enjoy hearing from him not only during the broadcast, but before the noon start Thursday and before we open the series in Davenport Friday night. You'll enjoy hearing a perspective, and this isn't a guy with an axe to grind about all the injustices in life. Yes, it's been a hard fight for a lot of minorities in sport, but Julie, I think you can assure our listeners that Dr. Lomax does his homework. He has some incredible research at his fingertips.
Yeah, he's been out researching in the New England area at the beginning of this summer, and I had him as a professor at Iowa for probably the past 2 years now, and he definitely, I have not had a question that he has not been able to back with research. So he's a wealth of information, and you'll have lots of fun with him tomorrow. Well,
we look forward to that as a special treat. Bob will be with us, but we'll stagger things a little bit so Dr. Lomax can visit with us live and so that Bob can be a part of the Fort Wayne broadcast. For 3-time Iowa Sportscaster of the Year Scott Unash and broadcast assistant Julia Jansen, I'm John Rogers, wishing you a great Tuesday evening from the ballpark. A final salute to our in-studio engineer, Jake Lent. Jake, thank you for all of your great work. The Kernels have won 5 of 6 on the homestand and beat Fort Wayne tonight 7-3. So long until tomorrow evening. This has been Kernel Baseball in the Zone.
This has been a special sports presentation from The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM, Cedar Rapids. Now back to our regularly scheduled ESPN programming already in progress.